Hey, gearheads, this is Tom Myers, and I am currently trying autofellatio. That is when you put your back up against the wall and you push your wiener as close as you can to your face. You know, like my comedy, only pleasurable for me. Anyway, here's an actual funny guy, not a piece of human garbage who is home on a Saturday night trying to kiss his own glue shooter. Blind Mike Geary.
Good to see you're taking the subtle approach as always.
Yep.
Even the fake audience seemed hesitant on that one, but yes, we have a lot to get to today. Oh my God, we have to talk about a new rivalry is formed. Apparently, I tried to keep the peace. I thought I had a friend. I thought we made memories, but we will get into why my heart has been ripped out of my chest, and it is truly sullying the greatest night of my life. It's been tarnished forever, and it's gone, and I don't know what to make of it. I'm torn up inside. We'll get to that in mere moments. We have a lot of other stuff to get to as well. But first, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to the Corn Ferry Tour and the broadcast that Barstool is doing. Kirk's there, obviously, and that's the only reason I would have paid attention to it. But I've been watching a bunch of the clips, and they're doing what I've been saying for years. Like, that's what sports broadcasting should be. Exactly. It's just like a funny broadcast. You have the stiff Jake Marsh doing play-by-play, Kirk antagonizing him the entire time. It's very funny.
And Riggs even saying funny stuff.
Well, even like the one clip I saw where Francis is like, Kirk asked Francis, "How much do you hate Jake right now?" And in perfect golf broadcasting voice, it was, "Oh, do you hate more Jake or Normand?" I think he asked him. And Francis goes, "Well, Kirk, I got to tell you, it's really neck and neck right now." As they're watching a putt going. It's very funny. And the shame of it is, my prediction as to what happens is like the PGA will look at that and be like, "Oh, okay, we should start doing things like this." And then they'll dip half a toe in by allowing like Riggs to interview a golfer at the US Open or something.
Right.
They're not going to really embrace it. It's going to be half-assed, you know?
Yeah, unfortunate, because it's very funny. I haven't been able to catch it, and I went to watch the replay. That's the only thing I can complain about, is that it's not anywhere.
The Kathy Cullinane line was Bob Euchre-esque. And it was very funny because Kirk mentioned that, Kathy Cullinane dances at the Foxy Lady, which we've all seen. And Riggs like tried to protect himself legally. He's like, "Well, we don't know that." It was very funny. So check that out. Is today the last day, or was yesterday the last day?
I think today.
Yeah, so check it out. The last day of that broadcast, of course. Now for much more serious business. We have to talk about Tom Myers.
Yes, we do.
I thought you would have taken that as a cue. There we go.
I got it.
Bye-bye laughs, bye-bye happiness, hello awkwardness, I'm going to see Tom Myers. Bye-bye smiles, bye-bye happy times, hello no punchlines, I'm going to see Tom Myers, the comedy of Tom Myers.
That song's gonna need to be corrected because we won't be going to see any comedy of Tom Myers anytime soon. This is truly a tragic event I'm about to tell you folks about. For anyone that's late to the party, doesn't know, exactly a month ago, I think, we went to see Tom Myers in Havre de Grace. We saw Dat Fan. It was truly a magical night. It's indescribable, really. We laughed, we loved, and frankly, for the first time in any of our lives, I think we truly lived. Drew Peeballs and I were looking at condos to get in Havre de Grace, and we would be sensible. We'd Airbnb it out most of the year.
Right.
We'd carve out a few weeks for ourselves.
Yeah, you
to
got
really enjoy life. It was the smells, the sounds, everything. It changed me as a man. I was romanced for the first time ever.
You gotta have someone to share that clam pizza with, or whatever it is.
But the Havre de Grace 5, as we've come to be known, could only experience joy for so long.
Yep.
Because now that event will forever be known as Heartbreak and Havre de Grace. First, it was that fan who frankly perpetrated his bigotry on us. I've had millionaire mogul Dave Portnoy throw a wallet at my face. And yet, truly, the only time I felt discriminated against in my life was when that fan came after me, pointed me out, not figuratively, literally pointed at me, used racism and hate to try and have me escorted out. Thank God for the ladies at the Havre de Grace Opera House for showing a little decorum and not removing me unceremoniously. But that was, we were able to cope with that because we felt the nurturing embrace, or so we thought, of one Tom Myers. We thought we had a friend. And I have to say, Craig, you've heard some of the stand-up we played. I think we're pretty goddamn generous in our review of what we saw that night.
I mean, saying that man was responsible for one of the best nights that you've spent on Earth.
I'd say we coddled him in our review of the comedy that night because wall to wall, it was a criminal assault. That was the most brutal night. I mean, the atmosphere was lovely, but if you're analyzing the comedy, it should have been criminal what was happening there that night. It was worse than Jonestown. I wish there was poison I could drink. Just in terms of the comedy.
Well,
but luckily my brothers got me through it. The laughs I felt with my brothers, the Havre de Grace 5. We really felt something. We thought Tom was in on that. And little did I know the type of complete fraud we were speaking to after the show. Oh, sure, if you tickle Tom's asshole, he'll be a politician. He'll be all well and good. He'll shake hands and kiss babies. But then you see the ugly Tom. You start to see, as my buddy Hackride pointed out, who Hackride, I wasn't sure at first. I got your back 100% on this one, buddy. Hackride astutely pointed out that the guy that Drew P-Balls ran into before the show, the guy who pointed at his cell phone and told an adoring fan to essentially pound sand, that's the real Tom Myers.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, Tom was obviously, he's a busy guy. Obviously, that was Hollywood on the phone. Clearly, that must be, Amazon Prime banging down his door, saying, this Gaffigan thing bombed. We need you to save us, Tom. But no. That was the real Tom, who spits in the face of those who try and love him, try and, raise him on their shoulders. So let's get into it. Let's tell the people why I'm so furious here. Richard Ojeda came on the program last week. Was that just last week?
That was, it was last week's episode, but we recorded it almost 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So Richard Ojeda was on the program. I mean, a more lovely guy you could not find.
Oh, the best.
I think the video was deleted, so we don't have the clip, but someone super chatted John and asked him, it might have been me. I don't think he was reading mine, but I did one around the same time. And someone asked him, how was your experience on the Blind Mike project? And John goes, I got to say, they're getting a lot of positive reviews. Even Stuttering John has heard the feedback for the Richard Ojeda interview. And Ojeda said, he goes, man, I'll go on. I thought he was about to trash us, like some less, dare I say, graceful people would. Because he goes, hey, man, I'll go on any podcast. I don't have a problem doing any podcast, but I got to tell you, that Blind Mike project, those guys were really great. They asked some great questions, and I love those guys. I don't know if he said I love those guys, but that's how I felt it in my mind.
Right.
Richard was a peach. Now, can I say also, you said people were like criticizing us for laughing at Richard or something?
Not as much as enjoyed it, but I did see it.
I mean, if you don't get what was going on there, we're laughing at him. We were talking right to he was. The guy admitted to assaults, for God's sake. How much more generous could we have been with the guy? I thought he was fantastic, and I thought he was completely in on the joke. Because I asked him multiple times, I was like, Richard, do you know who we are? Do you know what we joke about? And like, would we talk about you getting angry? Like I fully admitted who we were. And he's like, hey, man, I don't give a shit. Like, Richard didn't care. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
He's awesome. Awesome guy. I'm just right from the jump, as soon as he hopped on before we started recording.
Before we started, he's talking about Quincy with me. It was great.
It was awesome.
So a more pleasant guy you will not find than Richard Ojeda. He's part of the family now. Will we still poke fun at him? Sure. But it'll be done with love. Because I think Richard's our brother.
You could argue that it was with love from the jump.
It really always was. There were elements that I didn't understand, and I think talking to Richard now, we understand them a little better.
Yeah, he's allowed to speak, and when he's not by himself, he can bounce it.
Yeah, so that gave me the idea that we got a lot of positive feedback from it. People seem to enjoy it. That gives me an idea. I say, you know what? We're about building bridges here on the Blind Mike Project. We're not like this guy Karl, who's always trying to antagonize people. You know?
Yeah.
We try to mend fences here.
Right.
And so I said, you know what, Hackride? Great job booking Richard Ojeda. Mission number 2, get me Tom Myers. Get Tom Myers on here. Let's promote him. Let's make the Tom Myers that we met that night the Tom Myers that everybody knows. And that's when I learned that Tom Myers does not exist.
Complete fraud.
So let's go to the screenshots, Craig.
Would you like me to read them off?
If you would be so kind.
So Hackride reached out.
Yeah.
And said, "Hey Tom, my name is Hackride."
Okay.
he used a different name, but I'm not sure if it's.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I am an associate producer.
My name is Hackride.
My name is Hackride. I am an associate producer for the Blind Mike Project. They were the group that came out to see you in Havre de Grace a few weeks back.
This might be where we were in trouble. I told Hackride to do this. I said, introduce yourself. Like, say you're one of us. Now, the reason I said that is because I thought Tom felt the love that we showered on him that night.
Right.
I didn't realize what's been going on behind the scenes.
Mike has been talking you up since seeing you, and we have access to a lot of downloads. In around another amount of downloads on the YouTube.
Okay, don't get into the lies that he tells about how many people listen to this.
Yeah. We have a pretty wide reach, and I'm a personal friend of Shuli.
What a weird thing to throw in.
And he also speaks super high of you.
Does the name Shuli Egar mean anything to you? Oh, I think Tom did Shuli's show. Okay, that does make sense, actually.
Yeah. Would you be willing to come on and talk to Blind Mike and promote your comedy to a large group of new people? I have direct access to Mike anytime.
That's terrifying.
And accurate.
Yes, that's the scary thing about it.
And he was super excited when I mentioned I was going to reach out to you. We can do an online interview, no problem. We did one last week with the Army Major, Richard Ojeda.
Another weird. Imagine pitching this to someone. Hey, I'm friends with Shuli Egar, and we've had Richard Ojeda on.
And it went really well, and he has really increased traffic to the Major's website and podcast.
We have no idea if that's true.
Probably. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to read this, and let me know when you have some free time for an interview, Tom. Thank you, Tom Hackride.
That seems to me very professional.
Yeah, so far.
I don't have an issue with that.
Then he shares the YouTube video entitled Comedian Tom Myers Upstage.
Okay, well, that might have been a mistake.
Yeah. Comedian Tom Myers upstages Dat fan.
I don't know if I saw that part. Okay, that was misguided, probably.
Here is the segment after he came back from the show and screened that.
Okay, well, I'm maybe understanding this a little more. Yeah, that was probably a mistake, but all right.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll gloss over that real quick.
From that show's thumbnail, we love you. Iso Doe is also a good friend of mine. Don't know who that is.
I don't know what that means.
Tom Myers then responds with a contact with his face and says, "Send your request to my agent Lisa." And here's her contact info and shares
Pay
it.
no mind.
Yep.
Now that is a cunt's move.
Yes, it is.
That is, listen. If we're trying to book Tim Dillon, I get it. He's not going to be dealing with Hackride personally. I understand.
Right.
But I was at the show, believe me. This is the equivalent of if like Menners reached out to me to do Mike and the Minifans. And I was like, go through Craig, you peasant. I'm too big to be talking to you. Tom, who do you think you are? And it's not an agent. It's a friend you've convinced to field your phone calls.
No kidding.
This guy's getting 10% of all your earnings.
Got a couple super chats here. Michael Redden, $5. Sorry I'm late. It's okay, Michael.
Well, as long as you're ready for battle, my friend.
Yep. Drew P. Balls, $5. Hollywood
Drew,
Tom.
I'm sorry.
He says Hollywood Tom.
Drew, you're the one I feel worst for. I apologize to you most of all.
Suburban Tug Time, $5. Tom Myers is aligning himself with a known racist Dat fan. It's all you need to know.
Absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
That is true. And Justin Trudell, $2. Tom said to reach out and say we went to Maryland.
He literally told us to do that. And I gotta tell you, I've thought more about it because at the time I was like, we've made fun of Tom before. Is it shitty of us to go to the show? And then it dawned on me at some point, like, if some Minifan, if we did a live show and some Minifan came out and was like, Mike, I fuck with you a lot on Twitter. I came out to this event and it changed my opinion of you. And we love you now. I would cry. I would be so filled with emotion.
Right.
So it finally dawned on me like, oh, we've been nothing but good to this fucking guy.
Also, judging by what you said the audience looked like, and I know Hackride inflated the numbers to get him to come on, still thousands more people heard him that night because of this show.
Yeah, like, put it this way, thousands of people do consume this program. There's no one that consumes that of anything that Tom does unless it's being played on this show, who are these podcasts, Come Town, whatever. If it's Tom on his own, people are not listening. I'm sorry to tell you that, Tom, but it's a fact. It's an absolute fact. The idea that you said to me, and I kept a straight face, I paid respect to you when you said this to me. But Tom said, really, my shows are really all my fans coming out to see me. Oh, you mean us? You mean us and literally no one else there, Tom? Is that what you mean? But, because if Tom's not used to people being there, like kind of as a joke, then you don't have any fans. I don't know if you're aware of that, Tom. That's what your quote unquote fans are, is people that are there to make fun of you. We were different in the sense that you changed us. You changed our opinion of you. We thought you were a nice guy who was trying.
Now,
and we learned that's not true.
Now, I will say, we've sounded mad at Tom so far this whole time, but we really haven't gotten to the reason why yet.
Oh yeah, no. Believe me, this I'm not offended by. Yeah, it's silly, it's comical that he's like, talk to my agent. But no, I have no problem with that so far.
Here is where he really steps on the cunty gas, if you will.
Okay.
Hackride says, "Hey Tom, I sent your agent the info and even told her we would pay."
Which he never agreed to with me, but I probably would have been willing to throw Tom a few bucks if that's what he needed for some reason. Like, I think it's wild that you're at the level of Tom Myers and you're going to charge people for a podcast appearance. The ego that takes.
I think Hackride was just going to pay for it himself.
He was. That's what Hackride's insane. I appreciate that he's willing to do that. He shouldn't. He doesn't have to. But yeah, I think Hackride was just going to pay Tom out of his own pocket.
Right.
So Tom, do you have no appreciation for that, you fucking loser? You've done nothing. You are talentless. and we're reaching out to you to give you money again. I've already put money in your pocket. I'm trying to do it again. And this is the attitude you give us?
Oh, man. So, hey, Tom, I sent your agent the info and even told her we would pay, and I haven't heard back. Come on, man. We are a growing YouTube show. This would be great for you. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know. Very nice email.
Again, but even again, if we're talking to Tim Dillon, I might say, don't be so come on, man. We don't need to say that to him. But again, we are talking to an open micer from a suburb of Baltimore.
Yeah, Tim Dillon coming on the show does nothing for Tim Dillon.
Exactly. We should be begging him and treating him with respect. Tom Myers, we don't need to go through his agent, Tom. No. We're trying to sell you tickets in these dumpsters of Maryland. Sorry to bother you. Yeah. Terribly sorry to inconvenience you, Tom, that I'm bringing people across state lines to see this horseshit.
And here we go. Tom Myers responds to this and says, she'll get back to you. I'm not her only client.
Oh, I'm sure. It's Tom. It's Tom Cruise. It's Tom Holland.
Yep, all the Toms.
It's all the Toms that she's got. It's a lot of big. I'm sure it's Tom. Is it CAA or William Morris? Will you let us know, please?
And then Tom says, FYI, using phrases like, quote, come on, man, is not very professional. Just a life hack.
A life hack to Hackride.
And coming from
that's the humor that you get from Tommy.
To Hackride from one. It's a hack fest.
Come on, man is so appropriate because it's an exasperation. It's come on, man. I'm dealing with a guy whose podcast. Go to Tom Myers' YouTube page right now, if you'd be so kind.
Okay. Let's see. YouTube.
Hackride might have more subscribers.
He might.
No, Tom might have a lot of subscribers because of Come Town again. Let's find out.
Let's see. Tom Myers. He has 1.73K subscribers.
Okay, so come on, man. Stop playing hardball with me like you're fucking Louis C.K.
And just for reference right now, his last video had 103 total views. There's more people in here live right now, Tom.
Tom, we want you to talk to people, promote your stuff, promote the horrible political show you do where you make your friends sit there and giggle at your monologue. Promote away. We were trying. So yes, come on, man, is the response you get when you're like, Tom, I shouldn't have to go through your fucking agent. Who do you think you are? This is if I went to a Mexican restaurant today and asked for a quesadilla from the waiter and they were like, talk to my agent, my response would be, come on, man. That's what you are. That's the level you're at. You're a Mexican restaurant worker, legitimately.
So Hackride is now following up because he hadn't heard back.
It's fair.
He says, hey, Tom, sorry to bother you. Just wanted to let you know that Blind Mike is most likely will be talking about you this Sunday. So if you want to tune in and check it out.
A little intimidation.
We believe we're going to go over communication. So anything else you want to add before the show, let me know.
That's interesting. That's an interesting approach by Hackride, and I think that's good because now you're saying we'll find out this guy's true colors.
Yeah, we're about to literally everything you've just said. We're about to talk about. So do you want to come or add anything to it?
Yeah,
more or less.
Okay.
So Tom says, since he has aired pieces of my act without consent.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Is Netflix calling?
And
is saving it for the big debut. I'm so sorry, Tom. Now, if you remember, you cunt, I said, please don't air anything of Tom's that he doesn't want out there. We played a joke that he's posted before to his social media and his podcast. So we played a joke that he's done that's out there publicly, and we played the response that Tom got to show how much love and adoration was in the audience that night.
Right.
I'm so sorry, Tom. Does that ruin it for when HBO comes knocking? Spoil my material.
Yeah, they were really.
Oh, we won't get to see the dick ass bit again. It's been ruined.
ruined.
Oh no.
He's still got bong hit transplant. He just got to make different things that are on the counter, and he's got it.
Oh God, the surprise when he talks about Maryland drivers has been ruined by this show. We don't know what his take is going to be.
Right. Since he has aired pieces of my act without my consent, and he's going after Dat Fan, who is a friend of mine. and
this is where I smell trouble.
Yes.
And I want to give Tom a little of the benefit of the doubt here because I think this monster, this coward, Dat Fan, is working behind the scenes.
This is my favorite sentence, though, this next one. He said, who's a friend of mine, and couple that with your unprofessional demeanor, including, quote, come on, man, which I've never heard in my dealings in California.
What does that mean?
Because Hackride, I don't know if I didn't read that sentence, but yeah. Hackride's like, dude, that's just what we say in California. Like,
it's a colloquial thing. Yeah.
So he's like,
Hackride's basically said, and he apologized. I saw he goes, hey, I'm sorry. It's like a colloquial, like, come on, man. Like I wasn't trying to be rude. Hackride was explaining what he said. Now right. Tom has to unzip and pull his big meaty cock out and say, I've actually been to California before.
Yeah.
Sorry, read that sentence again.
Since he has aired pieces of my act without consent, and he's going after Dat Fan, who is a friend of mine, and couple that with your unprofessional demeanor, including, quote, come on, man, which I have never heard in my dealings with Californians, and I've dealt with a lot of them.
I've dealt with a lot of them. Whoa. Oh, Tom, have you been to Los Angeles? Tell us about it, Tom. What's it like? What are the big bright lights like, Tommy? Did you go and see the Hollywood sign? You mean you've been out to California? How did you get there, Tom?
You know what we should do? We just said Richard after Tom. New friend.
Doing a cartoon at some point, maybe doing exactly that.
Yes. And I've dealt with a lot of them. And lying about offering pay. Do you think I don't talk to my agent? I will respectfully, because he didn't realize that Hackride offered to pay Tom, not pay Tom through his agent. So he's like, you don't think that she didn't? He said that you didn't offer her to pay. I checked.
We're offering now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. He goes, do you
what
think
do you mean lying, Tom? It would be a lie if you did the show and we didn't pay you. That would be the lie. We're saying we'll give you money. It
was literally 2 messages before this one.
Hey, Tom, how about taking into consideration the money I wasted on tickets for this horse shit?
Called a while.
Wildly overpriced tickets.
$40 right?
I've paid less to see Shane Gillis, Mark Normand, Tim Dillon, Sam Morrill, four of the biggest comedians in the country. I've paid less to see them.
Yeah, and they don't realize too, if they made those tickets $5, you might have got a lot more people there and made more money.
Think about that, guys. A little quick math.
Let's see. Do you think I don't talk to my agent? I will respectfully decline your offer. Thank you, though, and best wishes on your endeavors.
Yeah, that's what we thought, by the way. Tom probably is so busy he doesn't even talk to his agent. That's what we thought.
That's how WWE fires people. Good luck on your future endeavors. That's what they say at the end of every email.
I mean, Tom, do you not understand like what a loser you are and that you're laughed at everywhere you go? And we were trying to foster a place where the one show that talked about you without a fucking smirk on their face was going to be us.
Okay.
We were the one group of people that weren't going to humiliate you every time we spoke about you. And now you've got nothing.
Nothing.
Now, I mean, WATP will make fun of you here and there. We'll make fun of you here and there. That's it. You got nothing, Tom. Nick Mullen doesn't talk about you anymore. That's all you had. You are a loser who never understood how good he had it. Like, this is exactly what he did to Luis J. Gomez. where Luiz tried to book him on Skanks when all that shit was very popular. And Tom tried to weasel like a Skankfest appearance out of him and at the time I didn't quite understand like why Luiz didn't just give in. And now I get it. You're not going to negotiate with terrorists. It's fucking crazy that Tom has this ego on him.
I know. Mike from Providence, a blank $2 super chat, followed up by a $5 super chat with words. And he says,
okay,
F him. Tom Myers is way better as an enemy than a friend.
Well, we found that out, Mike. Yeah, I tried. Believe me, I tried. But there was just some people are just ungrateful. And now we get to the real issue, and that's that Dat Fan has clearly been working on behind the scenes.
Did I not call that yesterday before these messages existed?
You absolutely did. And what's truly sad is I have the self-awareness to admit that a man that's been in stand-up for a quarter century should be able to look at me and Craig making fun of him and destroy us.
I know.
What do you think there's no material here on the Blind Mike project? There's nothing you can go after?
Yeah, no.
And yet instead, you run in fear. You block everybody that all they did is put a cane emoji on your fucking Hey, have you ever heard of the algorithm, Dat? God forbid you get a few comments on those horrible posts. You don't know how to clip them. You have half a sentence on your stupid Instagram, and we're boosting those posts by commenting on them. You delete them, block, and run scared.
I know.
And so I was willing to go under the assumption that Dad just didn't know what was going on and panic. Like, what the fuck is this? And maybe overreacted or something. Now we know that he's been talking to Tom behind the scenes. And he's like, this guy was mean to me. He was mean to us at the show. We treated you better than anyone has ever treated you in your life. You don't understand how good you had it.
No kidding. $2 super chat from Justin, who continues to pay the show for some reason.
Please stop it, Justin. Thank you.
These messages are like daggers through my heart.
That's where a lot of this comes from, is not anger but hurt. Is that we had such an experience that night. You heard it in my voice. Go listen on the Patreon. BlindMike.net, folks. Reimburse me for the money I've wasted on these assholes.
In the comments, it's not a super chat. Christopher K says he's looking forward to the Tom Myers Why Are You Laughing episode. There's a few on the Patreon, so if you're not there, go find them.
Also, you don't have to shame him by saying it's not a super chat.
No, but it's whatever. It's such a good comment. I had to
transcended the chat.
Yeah. He didn't pay me to say that.
Yeah. So Justin's absolutely correct. That's what hurts most of all, is we tried to love you. And I spoke to Justin on the phone about this, and we both agreed that this is what we were expecting from Tom.
Have you read Hackride's follow-up to that yet?
No, I don't think I have.
I have it, if you'd like to hear it.
Well, let's hear it.
He says, I'm sorry to hear that, Tom. I don't know who you talked to, but your agent never reached out, and I am prepared to offer you $200 for the interview. I would have offered you that immediately, but you said talk to your agent. Again, I apologize for that phrase, but that is really a reason to. Is that really a reason to cancel the show? We're going after Dat. This is true, but only because he tried to kick Blind Mike out for laughing at your jokes.
Yes. And if you have a problem with that, confront us. Come on the show and call me an asshole. Call me a hypocrite. Call me out. What's wrong with that, Tom, you pussy?
The $200 is still on the table. Your agent is a joke. Quit being
okay. We've lost a little decorum.
Yeah, I mean, but
I understand.
He took 4 punches to the face before biting back.
That's good. I'm glad Hackride did that, actually, because I was about to say shame on Hackride for treating this man with any dignity.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he threw that in there.
He said, quit being offended. I'm more liberal than you could ever be. He then says something.
It does take a weird turn at the end, but I'm for it.
Yeah. Be a comedian, God damn it.
Oh, God. All right. The professionalism has gone out the window.
Okay, so this is the last line, and it's definitely no better. I respectfully do not accept your respectful decline. You can act like a man.
What's the matter with you?
You can act like a man.
Well, good for Hackride, because enough getting pushed around by this pig.
No kidding.
Fuck him. If you're... Excuse me. I need a sip of water here. I'm getting choked up.
Getting all fired up. Getting riled.
If you have such a lack of confidence in your comedic abilities that you can't come on with us and give us shit, even sneak attack us if you want. Take our money. Take the $200 that we're apparently going to pay you for some reason. Which I don't know where that number comes from. It's not worth $200 to me to have Tom Myers on by any stretch.
I think Hackride just found an old coat and there happened to be $200 cash in it.
We probably lose money having Tom Myers. It probably gets less views than a regular episode, honestly.
Probably.
Because we're not talking about as many different subjects if we have Tom on.
Well, now it would probably do really well now.
Maybe now, yeah, but yesterday it wouldn't have.
No.
So have some fucking faith in your comedic ability as a guy that's been doing it for 20 plus years, and Dat Fan's been doing it even longer than that. If you guys had any confidence in yourselves, maybe you could come on and fuck with me. But instead, deep down, you're a fucking joke. You know you don't have any material. You know you're a loser, and you act like you have these egos. Dat acts like, oh, I don't even know what city. I'm too big for the city I'm playing tonight. And Tom acts like this high and mighty, high-minded political connoisseur. But deep down, somewhere, they might not even know it, but somewhere their subconscious knows that they are unoriginal losers that don't have the ability to let their comedy do the talking and let their comedy defend themselves.
Blind Mike firing shots.
I guess so, yeah.
Damn. I hope they respond. They won't. It's unfortunate.
Honestly, it's sad because you could easily take me down. I get flustered easily enough. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of material to go on making fun of me. And so it's like, it's shameful, honestly, that a comedian that's been doing it for that long doesn't have faith in their own ability to go to. Instead, you bitch about money and say, talk to my agent. Tom, it's not your agent. It's a co-manager at the restaurant you work at.
I like to think he's got two desks and he just turns around and throws a wig on and answers emails.
Tom's agent. It's like fucking Saul Goodman pretending he has an assistant.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, you've reached Hamlin McGill. Yeah, no, it's so Tom's enemy. Well, we have some of Dat's stuff, right?
Oh, we sure do.
I mean, how could a guy like this not be confident enough to go back and forth with me? He's obviously got some cutting material.
We have two. We have some stand-up and some other thing that is the dumbest post I might have ever seen. What would you prefer to start with?
Well, let's play a stand-up because God forbid I protect any of that now. You
Yeah, all right.
But you know what? I guess I aired material without your consent. Listen, I know you wanted to say, well, Tom, we will enjoy it just as much in the Netflix hour as we enjoyed it the first time. Believe me. And I mean that quite literally, Tom. Hear me on every level when I say we will enjoy your material just as much in the next hour you put out as we enjoyed it live in Havre de Grace. I swear to you.
We were talking about on our Quincy episode, which you can find at blindmike.net every Tuesday, excuse me.
Yes.
We were talking about having basically like a Quincypalooza. And one of the ideas we threw out was going camping and bringing a projector and having like a festival of some kind.
Yes.
If Tom Myers gets a Netflix special, we can throw Quincy right in the trash and go do that.
We'll be watching over and over again.
Yes.
For 24 hours.
We'll go watch. We will do the same thing, but with Tom's stand-up.
and that's the thing is like we wanted to support you. So I'm sorry we aired your material without your consent. Same to Dat. Terribly sorry for spoiling all the surprises you packed in. Oh, who knew Dat would do a Korean accent? Oh my God. I never saw that coming.
Didn't know that was on the table.
So instead, let's see Vietnamese accent. I apologize. Instead, let's see what Dat posts. Dat says, hey guys, don't play the material without my consent. See what I post on my social media. This should be a real doozy. Right. And it doesn't have us muddying the waters. It's not us putting our evil spin on it. This is what Dat wants out there.
You don't have to go see Oppenheimer. All you have to do is go to a yoga class in Los Angeles. And you'll meet all kinds of people with theories on how flat the earth is. It's a really wonderful place. All right.
Hold on. I don't mean to shit on this lady. This is just who's bringing Dat on stage. What the fuck does that mean?
I mean, we're gonna get
Is
to it.
Oppenheimer about flat Earth? I get the. It's about the atomic bomb. I suppose I get the analogy, but
Is that after they go off, it flattens everything around it? Maybe, I don't know.
I guess
That's a real stretch. That's a real fucking stretch, though.
a little bit.
But as we find out, there seems to be reasons that he kept this part of the video on.
Yeah. Well, this lady should be headlining, as we're about to find out.
With theories on how flat the earth is. It's a really wonderful place. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our next comedian. We've been waiting to see her for so long. Originally from San Diego, now out of LA. Please welcome Dat Fan.
Hold on. His credits are where he's lived.
Yeah, he also is probably furious because she didn't go, "You're headliner for the night."
Yeah, she didn't mention Last Comic Standing for the millionth time.
Which, good for her.
Remember the thing from 20 years ago? Oh, you don't? Why am I getting all these blank stares? You don't remember? The summer of 03?
Yeah, last time he was a big comic, ska was huge still in the music scene.
That's a great promotion. So if you've ever been to San Diego or Los Angeles, you may have bumped into this guy at a laundromat or a restaurant or something.
That he'll tell you his family owns and then make fun of them.
Ah, yes. What a stereotype. I didn't even mean that. That could be fun.
Hell yes. Give it for Summer Austin. She is pure liquid, you guys. She's just, I like her.
Yep. So I don't know what that means, but I can only take that as a "she's disgusting" joke.
She's a sweaty pig.
Yeah.
And now, hey, it might be referring to something earlier in the set. And like something like we did, you would know that because we gave proper context for everything. But Dat, in his wisdom, said, I'm just putting this out. I'm giving no prior. No one mentioned sweat or water or being wet or moist. No one said anything like that. So this is all the context we have. Sorry, go back just a little bit. I don't skip on Dat's words.
I was kind of hoping like he came out with the "Where's your house key" joke.
Yeah, it's Michelle Wojciechowski. Like, where's your house key, everybody?
Everyone's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it."
Come on, you know.
She is pure liquid, you guys. She's just, I like her biology, anatomy. You know, she's 1 gallon away from just being a Star Trek liquid person. I don't even know. Right down to cold piss. You don't even know what the name of that alien is. I don't know. Give it for a bouncer. Look at it. Yes. He could bounce anything but condoms. That's very nice.
What does that mean?
And then that's it. It's just over.
Nope, there's still more. You want to keep going?
Yeah, I wanted to play it all the way through so we don't step on it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to play Dat's joke so you can understand this is what he put online. We're not tampering with this at all. This is a TikTok post of his.
All right. I rewound it. Just gonna let it rip.
All right.
Give it for Summer Austin. She is pure liquid, you guys. She's just, I like her biology, anatomy. You know, she's 1 gallon away from just being a Star Trek liquid person. I don't even know. Right down to cold piss. You don't even know what the name of that alien is. I don't know. Give it for a bouncer. Look at it. Yes. He could bounce anything but condoms. That's very nice. I have my friend Madeline who's watching the show. She goes, "What show can I watch that will gauge you guys?" I go, "The show that we haven't seen each other for 2 months and we have no idea what the fuck we're doing." That's the perfect show to watch. I don't know how to run a show. It's just the cameras on Josh Driebman the whole time.
Why'd you stop it there?
I didn't.
I said don't stop it halfway through.
I didn't do that, sir.
What the fuck does that mean, Dat?
I don't know. I do not know.
What shows have you been watching? I've been watching the show where we haven't seen each other for 2 months. Boy, Tom's rubbing off on this guy.
So that brings me to a super chat. Well, Bueller sent $2, forgot to write a message, but then Drew P. Balls. Who is more talented, Dat Fan or Tom Myers?
Oh, interesting.
I think that's an easy.
I have to go with I have to be true to myself. I can't let emotion affect my morals here. Tom, definitely. I think it's not even close.
Yeah.
Tom, at least Tom's more bong hit transplant is more original than whatever the fuck we just. Dad literally gets on stage. You heard it there, and is like, "Whoa, isn't it weird that we're here?" No, I planned on coming and paid for a ticket. But that's Dat's whole act. He's like, "Whoa, I don't even know what's going on. There's a guy over here, and there's a lady over there."
Dat
Yeah,
has
that's what an audience is made up of.
He's all of a sudden got female open micer energy. Like, I don't even get it.
I mean, we've watched this TikTok where his whole bit is like, I'm going to Bing, but well, I don't even know what city. Is it Binghamton? Is that where I'm gonna be? It's like, yeah, great promotion, Dat. So we not only are you disrespecting the town you're playing in, we don't know where it is.
Yeah, to be fair though, a lot of comics will forget where they're at, and it's usually because of shows overloading. Like
That's not what I'm talking about. You don't see Bert Kreischer go on his Instagram and go, "Where the fuck are we at?" Is it pronounced Atlanta? I don't know where is that. What is that, a city or a town?
Well, when you get your face buried in map books for like 4 months straight, and you forget where you're at, and he's like, "Ah, shit."
Oh, that's the great thing that I think we're about. That's the other TikTok we have, right?
The fruit one?
Yeah. So there's a lot going on here. First of all, this was a big focus of his act was the tour that he was on. And if you go to his social media, that's all he's talking about is this tour. And then we played a couple clips on WATS Thursdays at 6 on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. We learned that Dat's big tour that he was talking about, he kept saying, like, I'm on tour. I'm in the middle of a 60-day tour. 60 days, 60 days. We learned it was 8 shows.
Yep.
That's not a tour, Dat.
That's
I mean, yes, if you get in your car and drive around the country because you can't afford a plane ticket, so mathematically you fuck up and waste more money on gas for some reason, then yes, I suppose it's a tour. It's more of a caravan, really. But
were these 8 weekends in a row?
Well, it was 60 days, so I guess technically, yeah.
You call it a mini tour. You can call it a mini tour.
No, it isn't. It's 8 shows.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I don't know.
Tom, you easily could have gone home in between these shows.
You don't think that Opera House and Havre de Grace?
No.
All right.
No, I don't think Dave Chappelle is like, whew, I'm wiped. 8 cities in 60 days. I mean, I've heard Ron White say he does like 200 and something shows a year. And I thought that was a lot. But then I crunched the numbers and I said, yeah, Ron, but have you done 8 cities in 60 days? I think not, my friend. I doubt it.
$2 super chat from Drew Peanuts.
Oh, we got Droopy Balls and Droopy Nuts here.
Yeah. Craig, you incorrectly called me Drew P. Balls.
Oh, okay. Maybe Drew P. Balls is not here. I see there's a battle.
My fault. I just quickly glanced.
Yeah.
Ray DeVito-esque touring schedule.
Yeah, boy, he's booked solid. We probably can't get him on the podcast either.
Well, but
all right. So yeah, he's been in these 8 cities, and finally he returns home. Now, obviously, his millions of adoring fans were like, Dad, you got to tell us what's the first thing you're going to do when you get home. And fear not, folks, because he said the kids are going to want to see this. He went right to TikTok.
I know this is hard to believe, but we actually have grapes in the backyard.
Get the fuck out of here. I can't believe Tom, I mean, Dad, whatever your name is.
It's tomato.
Not only can I not believe it, I refuse to believe it.
I can't wrap my head around
I
it.
fucking refuse. How dare you try and get me to believe that? Grapes in the backyard, Dad.
You live
Get out of town.
You live in a tropical area and you can grow grapes?
You live in the nicest place in the country and fruit is growing? I don't think so.
You're not gonna believe this. That was it.
That was it?
That was
Play it again. I don't believe you.
That was the whole video.
Play it again.
I know this is hard to believe, but
Oh
we
my
actually
God, they're good.
we have grapes in the backyard.
They're actually really tasty.
I like the wife advertising, like they're gonna get into the grape business.
Yeah, we're gonna start a vineyard here.
Good grapes.
12 gauge toothbrush says it's his neighbor's grapes growing over the fence.
He's stealing them. That's why I want to tell you guys to come on down to Dat's Grapes. Comedy isn't working out, so I've been stealing my neighbor's grapes and selling them.
That's grapes.
Well, Dad did grape our ears that night.
You sure did.
He's a full-on grapist. What goes into a mind that posts that for the world to see? Like, hey, guys, remain calm. I don't want you tipping over cars and setting them on fire. You know, I don't want you fucking punching your neighbor. Like, just try and remain calm. But I do have grapes in my backyard.
I didn't realize this, though. I don't know if I've told you this. I'm kind of ashamed of myself. I have tomatoes right now in my backyard, and I haven't.
Go film it, asshole.
I can't believe I didn't post about that sooner.
Are your kids TikTok stars yet?
There's also zucchini and cucumbers, and
Holy shit!
I just let it just go right by.
All right, guys. Well, you know what to do is post grapes on everything Dat posts from now on.
Yeah, it'll be more subtle than the blind guy.
Yeah, we're now moving to grapes. Dat is the grape comedian.
All right, and we can write hashtag grape dats threads. That's what we'll
grape dats threads. Well, fuck these two idiots. I mean, Jesus Christ. What losers.
Oh, dude, I have lettuce back there. I really let this slip through my fingers. The stardom I could have had.
I know. All right, guys. Next, next Gearhead meetup, we're gonna go to Craig's backyard and look at his fruit.
Ironhead's veggie stand.
Look at all of this.
I can feed most of you.
Can we put it on Patreon? I don't want to put it out there like for free. I don't want to just give that to people.
That's true. That's what I'll do. I'll post randomly on the Patreon for the $10 tier, just pictures of my garden.
we could grow cucumbers. That could be like an Alec Baldwin reference, kind of. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I'll just take a picture pointing a gun at my garden. That's the Alec Baldwin one.
Jesus Christ! What a couple of losers! Like. Literally, and here's the thing, is we're the last resort for them. I don't have the ego that these two retards have. First, Nick Mullen tried to give Tom a massive platform. Like, they were going to pay him thousands to come on Cumtown and just kind of have it out. And again, Tom would have had his chance to destroy Nick Mullen if he wanted to. He wouldn't have been able to because Nick's a brilliant comedian and Tom's a moron, a blithering moron. So it wouldn't have gone well for Tom, but he had the opportunity. Next, you have WATP. They don't have the audience that Cumtown had at their peak, but that's a pretty big, successful show. Dat squanders that and calls him Podcast Karen. Oh, what a hilarious dig. Nice job, Tom. I don't think Karl's been the same since you called him Karen. That was a great finishing blow.
Did that stick like Carla?
Yes, I think it had as much staying power.
Yeah.
As the flamboyant wood paneler. But then you get all the way down the rung to us, and we try to extend an olive branch. But Tom has such an ego. Like, I wonder what he sees when there was a, I would say, I mean, if I'm being generous, a quarter full show that we were at. Like, does Tom hear a stadium full of people chanting his name?
You were
Is
loud
he that
enough.
delusional?
You were loud enough.
We were pretty loud.
Justin,
But when we're not there, like, what is he hearing? What does he think is happening?
Justin, another $2 super chat.
Okay, now he's doing it to troll me.
I know. All-time sketch, The Grapist from Whitest Kids You Know. That's true. Funny
Well,
sketch.
I think it'll be remade with Tom Myers in cartoon form at some point.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm glad we had Hackride had a tough week. Hackride was going through something. I don't know what it was, but he was like he was coming at me in a weird way, where
I think it's how it talks.
he was messaging with me, and like he told me that he messaged with Ojeda, and he mentioned something to Richard about like coming back on in September, and he sent me a screenshot, which I can't see. I don't know if you guys know, I'm legally blind. I think we mentioned it in the name of the program somewhere.
Might be,
but it's subtle, so I don't know if people can tell. So I couldn't see the screenshot. He said, I don't know the context, but he goes, I mentioned something to Richard about coming on in September. I reply, just don't make any promises. And in my mind, all I mean is like, don't let Richard expect to come on because I don't want to have him on again that quickly, frankly.
Right, right.
Hackride responds, relax, man. You don't have to treat me like an asshole. Have him, don't have him. What do I care? And I was like, what's... And so I messaged him a couple times, and I'm like, did I do something?
I love the correspondence between you and Hackride. It's always up and down.
I'm a battered wife.
Oh,
he's like, relax, buddy. But now I realize what was weighing on him was the
Tom Myers.
Tom Myers pushing him around. He was taking that frustration out on me, so I understand it finally.
Well, speaking of Ojeda, there was two things I did in the interview that you said. I wonder if people are going to see them.
You noticed, huh?
I didn't. I still don't know what they are, so I'm just
okay.
curious. I think I know
right.
one. I think I might know one.
I don't know what the other one was. Did I say there were two?
You said multiple, so I assumed at least two.
One was probably just your general essence, but
Maybe.
The other was no. You asked. You were like, my plan was just to have a fun, silly Richard, the way I think we ended up having.
Yeah.
You said, Richard, what do you make of these Trump indictments?
Oh, yeah. That was on purpose, though. I knew that was going to get him riled up, and then it made him spaz and talk about
I know.
Trump.
I think it ended up working out. But it was just the delivery of your Craig putting on his political cap. Because that was really more like, hey, Jer, look what I'm doing.
I think my exact question was, Richard, with all these indictments,
yes, exactly. I
think
hated you having on your Barbara Walters pantsuit.
I go, do you think that's going to fuel his base?
yes, that's what I hated.
But I knew
fuel his base.
I'm on Jerry's show every day, so I know exactly what to say that's going to make him spin like a top. So
that's what infuriated me is how well it was formed for like Jerry's show or something.
I need to get him on Jerry's show.
And I think you hear me in the I think you can audibly hear me go, oh God.
I can see and hear you laugh in my face.
Yeah, so that's definitely the one I was thinking of. I don't know if there were others, but after that, that's when I thought it was a little rocky because I thought we were off to like I think Richard was good from the start, but I was kind of like, is he going to play along? And then after that, we were off to the races.
Yeah, because the question did lead to him talking about Trump shitting his pants and getting hosed down in the Oval Office, and we were golden from there.
He does. He shits himself. He shits his diapers.
I saw somewhere, too, that the sack of shit count was over 20.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And maybe in that sentence.
Yeah. He's a sack of shit.
Yeah. I mean, the greatest was the story about how he handled his bully.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to repeat it in case authorities are listening.
Yeah, so just go watch it. It's towards the end, maybe like the last quarter of the interview somewhere. He just he has a bully and he takes care of it.
He takes care of it. Toot sweet.
Yes.
All right.
That's where the title of the episode came from, that story.
Scrapper to separate. All right, let's get into some other stuff now. Where should we go from here? Oh, I guess we gotta start with the Kevin Brennan, Karl, John stuff, I suppose, right?
Yeah, sure.
Just while it's still somewhat fresh, I'm sure it's been talked to death on the internet, but I wanted to give my 2 cents because I thought it was really interesting. And I know Craig doesn't follow it as closely as I do, so I like to inform him on what's going on because I'm curious. I think the fact that Stuttering John ended up going on with Karl softens this for Kevin.
Yes.
But people were starting to turn on Kevin pretty bad. And I'm curious to see if it actually comes through in that way.
So the first one is the John and Kevin clip you want?
Yeah. Okay. So this is obviously, if you don't know, John was going on with Karl on Wednesday. It had been planned for a long time. And then John was stopping by with Kevin Brennan for a minute before the show. And they're talking about his appearance with Karl.
I'm going to be honest with you. I need your advice here.
I don't like people talking shit behind your back and then be like, and then Karl's going to act like he's your best pal when you do his fucking show.
And that's why. You tell me, should I do this or not?
No, fuck no.
All right, then I'm not doing it.
What is he paying you?
We're just going to split the super house, but no.
What is this? What's happening? You don't pay podcast guests.
No.
They come on to promote their shit. They don't have to come on at all.
Yeah.
This is first of all, it's a horrible precedent to set. But that you have to pay everyone that comes on your show. It could be the death of podcasting. But I genuinely think I do it with Kirk's show, where it's worth it to me to go on a platform much bigger than mine, promote myself. I do it when I'm on WATP as well. It's worth it to me to say, go to blindmike.net, subscribe everywhere for free. If you like the show, join the Patreon. That has been massively beneficial to me.
Yes. And
I don't need the $80 you're going to give me for a fucking podcast appearance.
And even with Karl going on he comes on here all the time too.
Right, exactly. And he's not begging for a few dollars for fucking beer money.
Right. Exactly.
And that's the thing is like, be grateful for that promotion that you get mutually, and maybe your show will grow rather than chiseling every fucking... John, what's the $200 going to get you realistically? As opposed to having fun and like building an audience from these appearances.
Yeah, and I think Kevin's just constantly walking around with a permanent limp after paying $3,000 to have John on, and no one's paying shit anymore.
Do you think, like, I understand the size of the shows is much different, obviously, but do you think like RFK is like, you know, I got my message out there, but I would have liked a couple hundred from old Rogies, crisp Benjamins.
Rogan probably does pay everyone that comes in there.
He might, but that's the thing. If you're making as much as Rogan, sure. But these fucking like Kevin Brennan is going nuts over a $10 super chat, and yet you're supposed to pay every guest that comes on. It's fucking nuts.
I know.
So it's a horrible precedent to set. And also, like, what business of it is yours, Kevin?
It's not. But you know, in his defense, he didn't bring it up. John did.
Well, here's the other thing about Kevin. Here's the one area I'll like defend Kevin in is he's not joking about this, but like Kevin's funny and able to make this shit funny. John's not.
Right.
John purely comes off as an asshole. Like even like I think Kevin is greedy and a bitter guy, and you know hates how successful his brother is, and will never get out of that shadow, and that's just what fuels him. But he is funny, so that offsets it. I think John has that same bitterness, but unfortunately isn't funny, which makes it worse for him.
Correct. But they continue here.
Joey C and a bunch of other people. This is all a big
Joey C.
Bob and Scoop. Bob and a dude.
Wait, you're taking the counsel of Joey C?
No, but I'm not going to watch the fucking Deuce pay his show.
Okay.
Oh well. All right. What's next?
Next we have Guarantee.
This is crazy. Now Kevin's negotiating. Tom Myers does not have an agent, that I'm sure of. But I guess John does, and his name is Kevin Brennan.
John, what you should do is demand a guarantee from Karl. You don't split super chats because he'll lie to you how much you made. So say I need.
What are you basing that on, Kevin?
Scumbag, dude.
He'll lie to you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Scum.
Karl, but Karl's deal with me. I mean, maybe he's lying to me. Now I have to do some accounting. But every month, Karl sends me half the super chats from who are these socials. He's not a greedy guy. Karl does not strike me as a guy that needs the fucking, 100-something bucks from super chats that he could chisel away from Stuttering John.
Right.
Saw you in the beginning of your show tell me don't do it. He's fucking. This is all a fucking work. So if it is, I won't fucking do it because I don't need it.
No, say you need a guarantee of 1,000, and then he can have what's left over because Karl's going to lie to you. He's going to say YouTube and Apple, everybody's taking their cut, and this is all that's left.
How is that a lie, Kevin? That's true. YouTube takes 30% of that shit. Apple somehow has their mitzvah. That's just true. Of course, you don't pay John what the full number would be and then have your end reduced by 30%.
Right.
That's crazy. You split what you get.
And then what happens is if John shows, he'll go on, be like, holy fuck. David Chandler super chat, $200.
Like it's Craig just stopping his tracks.
That was a lot. I wasn't expecting that number. I'm sorry.
Thank you, David Chandler.
He sent that specifically.
Hey guys, it's not really 200 though. We shouldn't really think, David, because YouTube takes their cut and then Apple gets in there. So I mean, thanks, I guess, David Chandler. But if you really want to give a little more,
that's why he sent it, was to see how much gets taken out, which is very funny.
No, that's too generous. Thank you very much.
Too generous. Yeah, the chat seems to think this whole thing's a work, and I guarantee you, it's not.
Well, it's not one that Karl is playing along with. I think, you know what? Here's where I'll give Kevin a little credit. He doesn't give a fuck if Karl's mad at him or John's mad at him. He's drumming up drama for his own show.
On his show, exactly.
So I'll give him a little credit. He does know he's stirring up shit. My thing is, why is he doing it to fuck Karl over?
That's
when they've been like buddy, and Karl's been good to him.
Right. Exactly.
And I gotta tell you, I know Kevin does pretty well with these super chats. If WATP disowns you, my friend, watch those start to dwindle. If Karl really went after you, like I personally think Karl's too nice a guy with some of this stuff. I wish he would really go at Kevin. And I think he would if John didn't come on. But I think John going on the show smoothed everything over. Although I haven't listened to the latest WATP yet, so maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But I think Karl's going to let bygones be bygones. If Karl really fucking dug his heels in and was like, fuck Kevin, goodbye. Bye-bye, super chats. So long.
This next one's called More Negotiating.
It's crazy the amount of fucking working that Kevin tried to do to get John off this show.
So and then after hearing you just say, he was ripping me an asshole. Why the fuck do I want to do this guy's show?
No, unless he's going to pay you. Unless he's going to pay you. Don't split super chats. Say, I need a guarantee, to demand a guarantee.
And then he wants to put the second hour behind his Patreon paywall.
Yeah, because he wants to make more money off you. Say you need $750 guarantee, and then you'll split, and then you'll take a third of the super chats after that.
So Kevin's mad. Here's what's really happening here, and I don't blame him for being annoyed by it. I blame him for the route he's taking. But Kevin paid John $3,000 to come on his show. And he quickly realized that was far too much. Because John has since done shows like he was on Chad's show twice for $1,200 total. He asked Opie for like $20 for beer money. Like the number has gone down significantly since Kevin had him on. And also, I think Kevin thought for some reason he was paying for like exclusivity in some form.
Right.
And now John has been saying the same shit day after day after day. So no one needs to go to Kevin's Patreon to see John say this shit. You can see it everywhere now. So I think Kevin's kind of like, well, fuck this. Stop going on other people's shows. I wasted money. And now he's bitter and angry, as he always is, and wants Karl to waste money as well for some reason.
David Chandler, following up his gigantic super chat with a $5 super chat, says it's about $98 after Apple and YouTube bites.
Thank you, David. That's still too much. We appreciate it, but not necessary. Thank you so much.
But next we have Karl joining.
All right, so now Karl's fired up, and I think some people didn't know he had this in him.
Me being one of them. I think I texted you. I was like, dude, that was awesome. But here he is joining the program.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck was that? What have I done to you, KB? Why did you just do that?
I was just
I
fucking.
gotta say, my one criticism of Karl,
Mhm.
I hate that he sticks to the nickname throughout this.
KB,
Yeah, I hate that he's paying him homage via nickname.
because he's a nice guy and he's pissed.
Come on, buddy.
He
See,
might not.
Why are you doing this to me?
He might not be smile talking during this, but his words sound happy.
Yeah, that's my only. Other than that, he did a great job.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck was that? What have I done to you, KB? Why did you just do that?
I was just fucking around, but I don't think.
Oh, I'm just fucking around. You know what was going on? John was looking for a way out because he's a pussy. So he goes out, he goes, KB, I'll trust whatever you say. And then you go right with the script. Yeah, I don't think you should do that because Karl's a dick. Fuck off, man. That's fucked up. This has been a big deal. We've been building this for a long time.
Yeah.
And you gave him the out he needed to be like, oh, Karl's blocked. I'm done with him. That's
Yeah, but why are you
man.
still shitting on him? Why are you still shitting
Why
on
would
him?
I?
wasn't.
Because, dude, why
You
do
say
birds
you're
fly?
you say
Why
you're
do children laugh? Why do sharks swim? It's what I do.
Perfect response. Kevin's like, why are you being mean? Kevin Brennan, of all people, is like, why are you airing out dirty laundry on the air? The whole point of having John on is that they made fun of him. I saw some people saying that, like, oh, maybe Karl shouldn't have talked about John until he came on. But it's like there were things to talk about with John. Wouldn't it be much more disingenuous if Karl was like playing these clips of John and was like, actually, you know, guys, I think John sounds, is it just me or is he sounding smarter? And I gotta say, like, I don't know if it's new lighting or what's going on. He's gotten better looking. Like, he's a handsome guy, this John. No, you don't think anyone would notice that, Kevin? No one would call that out and be like, hey, Karl, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Exactly.
Boy, this new hairdo looks magnifico on John.
Who needs bangs? Am I right? This next one is Kevin wasted money.
Well, this is more of what I was talking about, where I think Kevin's angry that he paid John that much.
But it's fucked up.
What
Yeah,
were you
get
going
him
to
back
pay
on
him?
because
What are you going
it's
to pay him?
one-on-one. It's
Let's talk about the pay.
one-on-one.
Let's talk about the pay.
Yeah, that's
The
the
pay-
other fucking thing too. Thanks for we already negotiated the deal, John and I.
Exactly.
And then you're going in there and going, by the way, an hour before the show, oh, you got to renegotiate that deal, John. You're taking money out of my pocket? Why, KB? What the fuck? I know you're pissed you paid him $3,000, but I think I did a pretty good job for you on that episode. I made it interesting because after I left, you guys had nothing to fucking talk about.
Good
Now,
for Karl.
I want to know who put that idea in his head.
I think I'm not the only one that said that. Everyone said that shit.
You said that as it was happening.
But it was crazy that they just go on and read. And like, listen, we did the thing. By the way, I forgot to mention this to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last time we talked about Kevin Brennan, we kind of made it the bit where, as we were talking about it, we would keep interrupting with super chats.
Yes.
I got a message afterwards. Very nice guy. He wasn't being shitty. But he goes, hey, Mike, love the show, blah, blah, blah. But I got to say, stop. Don't be one of these guys that ruins the show with super chats.
Oh, come on. How did you not pick up on
I
that?
was like, we were literally saying we were doing it as we were doing it.
Actually, I don't think we said it. I think we just kind of both got on the same page.
Yeah. It was very funny. But yeah, my point is like, but I don't have a problem with Kevin doing it. This is where Kevin, guys, now hold on. I want you to take note. A lot of comedy is about surprise, the element of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I'm not ruining this hilarious joke for you. There's a chance if Kevin catches wind of me talking about him, I feel like he might say that blind Mike can't read a room. I got to tell you, it was funny the first time, but it's a lot funnier the 80th time.
Yeah.
Keep saying it, Kevin. It grows every time. The humor builds. But so yeah, I went on like Shuli's show, and that's where Kevin got all angry with me and called me a hack because I said the second half of the show sucked because it was just Kevin reading super chats. Now that's the format of his show. That's fine. Good for you, Kevin. I'm not saying don't do it. That's how you make your money. Please, by all means. And if people are enjoying it, that's great. They think you're funny enough to overcome the idea of just reading super chats. Terrific. But you have to admit, it's a boring show to just sit there and read, you know, like fucking Marco V193 said, great show today, guys. Ooh, fascinating content. we do it once in a while. It helps pay the bills here, and we appreciate it. Guys like David Chandler, we very much appreciate it. But if we sat and did it for an hour straight, good for us, I guess, if we're making money. But I wouldn't blame you guys for being like, well, fuck this. It's not a show. I'm not watching this.
Right. $2 super chat from Droopy Nuts. Kevin Brennan and his chubby face are so unfunny. That's not true.
See, no, I think Kevin is funny.
Me too.
It's just like he's let bitterness cloud his career, and this thing with his fucking brother. Like, yeah, your brother's more successful than you. Get over it. You're also funny, Kevin, and I think if you tried, you could be as successful as Neil Brennan. I just don't think you give a fuck.
Suburban Tug Time, $3.11. Put a graphic with your Venmo QR. Beat the machine.
Oh, is that what we should do next?
I don't know, but I think Venmo still takes fucking money, don't they? Actually,
No, I don't think they do.
It's only for instant transfers.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Venmo me, I guess. No. Well, that's the other thing. We'll get to this with the steel toe guy later, too. You guys don't owe me anything. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate you subscribing on Patreon. Oh, and this is great promotion to do an hour and a half into the show. YouTube memberships are now available. Just so you guys know, you can become a member on YouTube now. I don't know, like, but we can't do Quincy on there, right? Is that the deal?
Can't do Quincy. It still gets flagged.
You're 100% sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. So Why You Laughing fans, subscribe on YouTube and you'll get the same Why You Laughing stuff that you get on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we don't know what we're doing yet.
Yes.
So proceed with caution.
Because I'm trying to find the backlogs, and after like every 3 months, I clear my computer because it fills up because of so much video and audio and all that stuff. So I wait 3 months. I'm like, I don't need this anymore, and then I usually get rid of it. So,
well, you could probably download it from the back end and all that. But anyway, my point is, if you want to support the show, become a member on YouTube. Don't feel obligated or anything. Like, we don't know what we're doing yet, so maybe wait till we have it figured out. But it's a way to support the show, and we appreciate it. Blah, blah.
Right, and if you do that right now, you have our Bubba Booey bonus episode,
and you get the Richard Pryor episode early.
Correct, which I somehow got from blocked to nothing on it.
Excellent. Attaway. Craig versus YouTube has been a successful mission.
It has. They got me once.
Okay, so what I was saying is I appreciate all you guys supporting, subscribing to the Patreon, all of that. You don't have to. You don't owe it to me. And there's shows like Steel Toe that like negotiate with their audience. That's weird. I don't have a problem with that guy, Aaron. I think he actually is like a decent broadcaster. But the one thing I can't stand is when I see these clips where he's like haggling with the audience. It's like, what is this? What's happening? And this is why I talk about paying guests and negotiating with the listeners and stuff like that, because I think it's bad for podcasting. I think it makes it look like a cheesy medium.
Right.
It makes it look like we're fucking beggars, and I don't want to be part of something like that.
Right. Yeah. I like it's a new method. Be like, hey, you guys want me to stop? Just pay me a little extra.
All right, let's keep going with this Karl Kevin stuff.
Yeah, this is the last one actually.
Okay.
It's just titled Backpedaling.
Well, you start to see. I think Kevin was genuinely a little like. I think he feels like maybe he doubled down the next day and was like fuck Karl. But I think in this moment he was kind of like, maybe I did fuck up, and I do kind of like Karl.
Well, he's probably reading the chat, and everyone was like, "Dude, what the?
We're
fuck
done."
are you doing?"
Yeah.
But here we go.
But you know what it was, Karl? I saw on my phone today when I was eating. I saw.
That's important to know, Kevin. Don't tease us. What were you eating?
That's a comic right there. You got to be very descriptive.
What did you have for lunch? Was it a tuna sandwich, perhaps? Come on, paint the picture.
It was a grilled cheese.
While I was eating.
I saw. Oh no! You know what it was? I saw your thing with Chris and the other guy. With the Lisa Jordana thing. Then I'm watching that. Then I see on my Twitter, Shuli shitting on me with the fucking thing in Atlantic City, and all you guys are shit. You didn't even say anything, Karl. So I appreciate that. But
all of a sudden, hey, you know what, Karl? You're actually a really nice guy.
You know, I saw you be nice to me, and I decided, fuck his show.
You know, I said, fuck your show all day, and what I meant by that is I think you're really smart and talented, actually.
You're really cute, too.
I feel like everybody's in cahoots with everybody else. Everyone's talking behind my back. Everyone's behind. I know everyone's talking behind John's back. So I'm just saying, it's like I feel like everyone
behind John's back. These are podcasts, Kevin. This is a microphone.
Yeah,
no one's behind John's back. Everyone's doing it in some form to his. He's able to hear these things.
Right. As soon as we hit end on this live, then start talking. That's behind
his
the
back.
back. Yes.
Right.
But on a broadcast thing that people are going to tag him on,
Of course.
like, not.
me and John are the fucking clowns, and you guys and Shuli, and you guys all always act like Shuli's some kind of fucking radio whiz. Like Shuli's got all the answers. Shuli, like I said, Shuli fucking ran.
Can I say, Shuli's been very nice to me. He's tweeted some of our stuff lately. He had me on. Is anyone acting like Shuli's a radio wizard? Is anyone like, oh, the powerful Shuli? Other than Hackride pitching guests for some reason.
He's got a good voice. He's confident and everything. Like
I have no problem with Shuli. I don't know why he gets the level of hate that he does. I do understand people criticizing him for kind of jumping on the Karl bandwagon. Maybe he didn't handle all of that correctly. But like, people have sent me his stuff, and like, listen, I don't think Shuli's the greatest comedian. He's not my favorite comedian by any means, but like, I don't find him to be so bad that he should have a Reddit page devoted to him. That's my basic take on Shuli, is like, I haven't found shit that we would have a lot of fun shitting on for an hour, you know?
Right.
Because even like they play, like John was trying to do this, and they pay the dues payers stuff. And it's like, he got on Stern years ago, he got overly sensitive with Artie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, it's not like a cringy, oh my God, 15 years later, we should still talk about this moment.
It is to certain stuttering people.
I guess so, yeah. But that's the thing about John, is like, he repeats himself over and over and over every day now. His show is, and Karl, stop me if you already know this. I'm revealing some big secrets here. Did I call you Karl?
Yes.
Wishful thinking.
See, I'm just growing that much.
I was fantasizing. I forget what I was saying now. That threw me so much.
Repeating himself over and over.
Oh, stop me. If you've heard this before, Anthony Cumia, pedophile and a racist.
Pock face.
And a pock face. Yeah. And Shuli, bad comedian.
Karl, gay as hell.
Karl, terribly gay. Mike Morris is quiet. And Bob Levy sucks. Now, to me, these factors don't seem like enough to stimulate a 2+ hour show 5 days a week.
Right.
But John's squeezing a lot out of that lemon.
Sure is.
So good for him, I guess. Was there any more?
Oh, yeah.
I said, Shuli fucking ran Pottstown into the fucking ground as a fucking dumpster fire. And
that's what I meant to say. This is what I meant. This is why I stopped it originally. Kevin's just jealous that Shuli has any credibility. Kevin wants to be the king of this world.
Yes.
Whatever this is, Kevin wants to rule the roost. He wants to step above Karl and be, king of the Dabbleverse or whatever the fuck this is. Kevin wants to be head honcho. And he knows that it's not. He knows that the reason a lot of these shows in that world have success is because of Karl and not him. Kevin's not moving the needle as much as he wants to be. And he is very resentful of that. And he hates that Shuli has any sort of following. And this is that resentment coming out.
Kind of fucking radio whiz. Like, Shuli's got all the answers. Shuli, like I said, Shuli fucking ran Pottstown into the fucking ground as a fucking dumpster fire. And because he thought he could do it like you did in Rochester. You're good at your job. Shuli sucks. I don't know why you do his fucking show, but I feel like you guys are all in cahoots, and I'm sick of it.
I'm promoting my show, Kevin. There's over 1,000 people watching live to that this morning. I'm promoting this big show that I've been building
because you were on. If you're not on, it gets 400 people.
It doesn't matter.
Who gives it? Why does Kevin care where he's promoting his show?
He cares about a lot, apparently.
And let's say it does only get 400 people. Karl wanted to tell those 400 people to tune in to WATP. It was worth it to him. So who gives a fuck if it's not worth it to Kevin?
Right. Yep.
And it's like, again, if Kevin didn't burn so many fucking bridges, he could go on and promote his shows in Kevin has friends in like high-ranking places, or had friends until he ruined the relationships. Like Kevin used to have like Bill Burr on his podcast and shit like that.
Mhm.
And if he just wasn't such a miserable cunt all the time, he could go all over the place and promote this super chat reading that he does every day. But he can't because he's just such a miserable asshole.
Half the show is him pulling up super chats and then the top of his phone while he takes a picture of the super chat and then he reads it.
But that's like Kevin really is like a cautionary tale of a sad comedian, because he's a guy that comes from a time where it's like, I think maybe there was an element of that's what made a grizzled veteran, a guy who was like, fuck the business and everything. But now you're able to make it on your own. And Kevin has to an extent, but still like is fueled by that resentment. When it's like, if he just did other people's shit, you can have infighting and rivalries and all that type of shit, but you don't have to be such a cunt all the time. Well,
Right.
especially when a lot of it's fake.
Right.
Like he fucking hates Chad and he hates Bob and he hates Shuley, and then he'll have these people on his show, and then he won't because he's angry at him, and then he's out of the Stuttering John business, and then he's his fucking financial advisor. It's crazy.
Yeah, I thought Karl was awesome in
He
that.
did a very good job.
The only thing I heard him say it a couple times. The only thing, and it might just be because I lean right and I hear this and I'm just like, ugh. But when he's like, he tried to shut me down, that's fucking violence. I'm like, yeah, it's just.
I think
shit.
my take on that is he's saying that because John says they've gone after my kids and their Discord promotes like hate and all this shit. So I think Karl's heard that enough, and he's saying, no, the violence is you've literally tried to get like money taken away from me.
Right. No, I
Like,
just
that's an act of
hear
violence.
people being like, hate speech is violence. No, it's not.
Yeah, I know what
It's
you're
just,
saying.
it's just fucking shitty, and it's
Right.
really shitty.
Well, no, he's referring to John literally trying to get his Patreon taken down.
No, I know it's wicked shitty.
Yeah.
Just the way he phrased it, I'm just like, that's what I mean.
But yeah, Karl did a very good job. Then he had John ends up coming on because this is again where Karl was correct. He knows, John has his principles, but if you call him a pussy over text, John can't let that stand. So I guess Karl said, "Don't be a pussy and come on." And John was like, "I'm not a pussy." And so he was on, and like, it's gonna be tough for Karl because it's like John just fucking talks and talks and talks, and he can't get any points out. So it was a lot of stuff. Like John just kept rehashing a lot of the same stuff. But I thought this was a great moment from that should be celebrated. So John has been on this, and believe me, if you listen to 10 minutes of John, you know about this. So Karl does a thing on his Patreon where I think like once a month or something, they've been reading a segment of Stuttering John's book, Easy for You to Say, which is actually a pretty good title for a Stuttering John book. And they've gone through John's audio book, and John reads little bits, and they comment on it. That falls into the guise of transformative content.
Yeah, would this be like a segment, like a paragraph or two?
Honestly, not even probably. I think they react to just little bits and pieces.
Oh, absolutely nothing. And
yeah, so it's completely transformative content. John early on didn't know what that was, and thought legitimately, if you play anything, if you have a picture of John on your show, then he can sue you. He can take money from you in the court of law.
Sure, why not?
So now John has learned that's not the case. He's learned Karl's allowed to play segments of his book. And to your point, Greg, I think Karl's even allowed to play a fucking chapter of the book and comment on it.
Well, I know, but I'm just pointing out like how little it even is on top of that.
Yeah. So John now knows Karl's allowed to do that. So John has pivoted and said, someone online has gotten to John and said, Karl loaded the MP3 of your audiobook in its entirety with no commentary. Now, I guess that would be like here's a one-to-one comparison, I think. Like I said, on YouTube membership and Patreon right now, you can watch us break down Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip. where we cut clips and we comment on them. That's transformative content. If I took the entire special and said, hey guys, come watch Richard Pryor live in concert on my Patreon, that would be illegal. That would get taken down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this person said Karl was doing with John's book. Now, that never happened. And I know that it never happened because it wouldn't do Karl any good. No one subscribed to Karl's Patreon to read John's book or listen to it. They're going to hear Karl and Chris comment on it.
Right.
So someone is fucking with John and photoshopped an image and said, Karl uploaded your book to Patreon. John has been hanging on this for years. He's been thumping his chest about it. So Karl, in a final act of desperation, has tried to get John to understand just exactly how he's explained it over and over again, how that didn't happen. But finally, I think Karl is really trying to get through to this guy.
You had the MP3 of my book without any commentary, and you gave it away for free.
It's not true.
And you were taking money away from me.
John, that's not true. And I'll prove that it's not true because do you know what you have on your Patreon? Do you know what you wrote on your own Patreon page? I'll pull it up right here. You wrote Karl Hamburger is gay. Look at it, it's right there. It's on patreon.com/Stuttering John.
Sometimes if a guy is not listening, you have to resort to schoolyard tactics. Look at this, John. You called me gay. And John's like, no. No, I didn't.
I just like the idea that there's a perfectly clean clip of Karl saying Karl Hamburger is gay.
That's a good point. We should have that on our soundboard.
Yeah, I'll have to get that one.
So now you're doing Photoshop now.
No, it's not Photoshop. It's not.
Oh yeah, that's not my Patreon.
Oh,
that's not my Patreon.
Let's check.
We know, John. Who do you think you're convincing?
He's just immediately proving his own point.
It's amazing that John doesn't even get what Karl's example is.
Brilliant.
Karl is proving, yeah, John, I know it's not your Patreon. That's the whole point. I'm saying it's not my Patreon that you're talking about. And John's like, no. What are you, an idiot? That's obviously not my Patreon. Now, here's a real screenshot of your Patreon. It's like, no, that's the same thing this person did. Don't you get it?
Here, hold on. Let's see what this says. It says,
yeah, okay, this is all Photoshop. I'm out.
It says John is gay.
If you're gonna start pulling up bullshit.
No, I'm proving a point. I'm proving a point, John. I just manipulated your webpage in real time in front of you. It's that easy. I can make your page say anything that I want because I understand how the internet works. So when you sit here and you go, there was a link.
The MP3.
It was not. Whoever sent you that screenshot was fucking with you, John.
I went on there.
Okay, that's where John just resorts to lying. Then he gets it. He says he subscribed. He never did.
No.
Because at the time he was like, I never heard it, but this guy assures me. That was very funny and a smart, because there's so much. It's tough to get through to John, but there's so much that you just want to have like all the proper evidence and be like, John, look at this. Don't you understand like what's happening here? And it never sinks in with him. It's the weird, and that's what makes John the most fascinating man on the internet, I believe, because nothing ever gets through to him, and he'll continue to repeat the same things over and over again, make the same points, make the same jokes, sing the same parody songs that he creates in his own head, and it's just fucking exhausting to listen to, but it is captivating.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can't.
So that's my version of the update on Karl and Stuttering John and Kevin. I'm sure a lot more has happened. I haven't heard this week's WATP yet, so I'm sure even more has transpired. But
1000%.
But that's where we're at now, and I don't know if they're gonna do. Here's the weird thing about John is they'll end that show like they kind of ended on a good note. They played a little Cardiff Electric game. Oh, and by the way, I was on with Cardiff and El Horrible and Obnoxious John and Vinny Paulino while all this was happening. And me and Vinny said some harsh things about Kevin Brennan.
I heard.
I think I can't speak for Vinny, but I think we were kind of under the guise that we'd have the WATP army behind us.
No, it didn't
And then-
turn out that way.
And then John went on the show. So I think we were kind of like, yeah, but fuck Kevin, right, guys? And everyone was like, nah, we've moved on.
Bigger,
Like,
better.
ah,
things.
shit.
God damn it. That's very funny.
Oops. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with those guys.
Very funny.
And I forget what I was saying about it, but yeah, that's but John just makes the same points over and over again. It's insane.
Hypocrisy police.
Karl had a shirt on that said Federal Bureau of Hypocrisy.
Did he?
Which I believe outranks.
It does.
Well, that's the fun we had watching this all like fall apart on the pre-show we were doing. Was that like we got to imagine Karl having to take off his Federal Bureau of Hypocrisy shirt, throw it in the trash. I'll never use this. It all worked out for the best.
It sure did.
All right. Now, enough of that nonsense. This inside baseball stuff. We got real celebrities to talk about, right?
We sure do.
Should we go to Alec Baldwin next?
Is that where you want to go? We got Baldwin, we got Dalia, we got
a lot.
we have Steel Toe also, which is still in the realm of where we're kind of at.
I want to move off this for a minute. Maybe we'll get to Steel Toe towards the end, but
All right, so you feeling Baldwin?
yeah, let's do a little Baldwin.
Alex got a gun.
Don't worry, it's not loaded.
Alex got a gun.
These are just dummy bullets.
The whole world ducks and runs.
It's just a prop, I swear.
Alex got a gun.
Whoopsie daisy.
So I gotta be honest with you. I know Alec Baldwin actually does a pretty good Tony Bennett impression. And so unfortunately I knew when we lost the great crooner last week.
Oh no.
There was a eulogy coming.
Now would you rank this as very emotional or I'm going to try to get as many likes as possible?
It's interesting you frame it that way. I think given the two options, I might have to go with fishing for likes.
Because you mentioned his wife in this.
Well, there's an interesting moment that we'll get to. Let's play. So, as we've learned over the last few months with Alec Baldwin, is he loves a good eulogy. And, like Rear Admiral is very good at that. That's kind of one of the things he's become known for, is he eulogizes the dead. And I guess the Instagram version of that is Alec Baldwin. Whenever someone in their late 90s dies, Alec Baldwin will make sure to let you know how terribly sad it is.
Hey, I just wanted to leave a quick message here.
Thank God. It's never quick, by the way.
This morning.
When he says that, strap in.
He's like, how much time do you have?
I'd like to leave a very quick 9-minute message about Tony Bennett. I'd like to leave a miniature podcast about Tony Bennett's life.
Someone very close to Tony Bennett that he had passed away. Everybody who knew him personally knew that he was not feeling so great for the last year or so.
Just shitting on him. He's 96, Alec.
He was a weak piece of shit.
I have to say, Tony was a great man, but at the end, he was pretty weak. Kind of a big pussy, frankly. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, I'll take 96. I'll take his 96. Working through his 80s and so forth. But he's a sweet guy.
Look at him trying to wrestle with his emotions.
Had that first
Oh my God, I was really not prepared to lose this 96-year-old, and I was so emotional that I went right to Instagram without preparing any words. You may notice I have nothing real to say about the man, but I will note he was in fact very old.
He lived a full life. This was no surprise, Alec.
I'm surprised he hadn't been dead for 10 years. I forgot he was alive.
That's what I'm saying.
Things got a little quiet for him. Comes back, and the second act of his career is even bigger than the first act.
Now we get the full biography.
He was a singer-songwriter from Kansas City.
Became great friends with the likes of Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. He had made many appearances on Saturday Night Live, and he just reading his fucking Wikipedia. Selling millions of albums late in his career, he worked with Lady Gaga. Who is this for?
Once again, this is for these. I swear to God, I've become only for you.
Well, I know Mike really likes when I do the eulogies, so.
Everybody loved Tony. To have that talent. There are other people of his strata and of his style who, not to mention any names, who were not loved by everybody.
A weird thing to get into when Tony Bennett died. Imagine this at his funeral.
Yeah, you want to know who hated him? Let me tell you.
Tony Bennett was a great guy, but you know who wasn't great? It's Paul Simon, bit of a dick. Hopefully that cocksucker meets his demise soon, because God knows we all wouldn't mind him being 6 feet under. Anyways, I'd like to, if I could eulogize Tony Bennett, I'm saying that we could all raise a glass to Paul Simon being worm food soon. Here's to you, Tony.
But everybody loved Tony. Everybody loved Tony. He was a hell of a guy.
Yeah, we got it.
His music meant so much to me. I mean, his music, you know, when I was really down and I needed to hear somebody sing.
That's such a funny emotion to have.
He's like, I just call him and say, start piping.
Tony, I've got a case of the blues. If you could hum me a few bars. Come on, Tony. You know I do impressions of you when you're sad. He actually does a great Tony Bennett. That's the shame of this all.
I needed to hear something beautiful. You know, I just put on that Carnegie Hall album, and that was him younger. Or I play Unplugged.
I gotta say, I really prefer his early work. Late, you know, he started to lose his marbles a little bit. I don't think he, you know, he really got about the money late in his career, but his early stuff was pretty good.
And watch the movie Zen of Bennett, the doc.
Doing plugs now.
Tony, great movie.
He's got a piece of it.
Insight into him as an artist.
And if I could also say, if you could subscribe to my Patreon, we'll be doing an episode about Tony Bennett later this week. It's what he would have wanted.
God, why are you singing? He starts jumping on the whoever just died train and starts doing
right.
episodes on him.
All right, Ironhead, what's the next clip?
How hardworking he was and how decent he was as a person. I'm going to think about other things I might say, but I'm going to give it some thought.
Oh, good. Good. I'd hate if we got your knee-jerk reaction to this, Alec.
How did he react when he got the phone call?
Sorry to pull you out of bed for this. Thanks for getting it to it so quickly. But I appreciate if you go back, take some time, come back with notes, and really give us a more thought-out eulogy, because frankly, one wasn't enough. How many of these do you think we need?
In the meantime, my heart goes out to Susan, to all of Tony's children, and especially to Danny, who was his great
lover. He outs him.
You know, we all in the industry, we all know Tony liked a little side dick, and frankly, that was the musing for a lot of his brilliance. So
he kept it from his wife.
Props to Danny, who I hear, just had a mouth like a Hoover vacuum on him. Really sucked Tony dry.
Collaborator, and the guy that was really.
I don't know about you, but I don't hear a Spanish accent talking in the back.
Oh, is this where he looks? That's where he's startled by someone in the background.
Hey, I'm live. You might want to throw on that accent again.
That's the greatest part about Alec Baldwin's videos is someone always walks into the room and interrupts him. Don't you understand? Someone has died. Obviously, he's like the world's laziest superhero.
Yeah, I can hear in the background going, "Hey, you guys got those cucumbers? I've been looking for those cucumbers."
Don't you know that when someone is in danger, I'm writing their eulogy? What's that up in the sky? It's Alec Baldwin with some boring words about this person. Dun, da, 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 da. No, I'm not here to help, but I will say some powerful things. Tony was a lot of people don't know he was a great cook, and he loved the culinary arts and spent a lot of his free time doing just that for his nieces and nephews. He would cook for them. He would have Sunday brunch, and I think that's what I'll remember most about Tony. Oh, okay. Well, he's dead, so.
Had a big hand.
But I also love that none of his family respects these videos.
I know.
Amazing.
I know.
They're just like, "Hey, Dad, sorry, I my fucking left my phone in here."
Hey, Dad, sorry. I just don't want to do this anymore. You're embarrassing me. You just killed a lady, and this is your response to all that. Please stop.
Level the second time around. Danny's a great guy too. He's a sweetheart.
What I'd really like to spend most of my time today talking about Danny and how great Danny is.
Yeah, me and Danny made a pact that if Tony ever left us,
we would kill ourselves. And Danny, get out here. Like, what is this?
he comes out of the linen closet with a shotgun. Because he's in the bathroom, by the way, for this.
Is he?
It looks that way.
Oh, that's why Hilaria needed some of her beauty products.
Yeah.
When I did my podcast and I wanted to interview Tony, I didn't interview Tony because I thought
he declined. He said, "No thanks. You're a murderer."
He said, "Lose my number."
Yeah, he said maybe you can get Tim Dillon on or something, but not me.
With that kind of stuff his whole life. I interviewed Danny. I have a podcast on my show.
Well, we got to break down this interview with Danny now.
All right. Danny's fascinating me.
Danny Bennett. Anyway, I'm going to think of something else to say in more detail.
No. Hey, Alec, you know what? This was plenty.
My mind's racing more than you could ever imagine right now. So.
Can you imagine doing this? First of all, just doing it for any celeb. Like you come on and you make a celebrity's death about you. So you're trying to get some of the what you really want out of this is comments being like, "Alex, sorry you lost your buddy."
Right.
But then you're like, I know 9 minutes probably wasn't enough to get all my thoughts out. But don't worry. I'm sure you're very worried. I'm going to come up with more thoughts and things to say about Tony Bennett. What more do we need? Alec, this was more than enough. My plate is full. Thank you.
I'm already just like, please stop.
You look at someone like him, it's hard to say this, but it's true. There'll never be someone like him again.
Yes, it's so hard to say because no one's ever said it about anyone before. I've invented the phrase "one of a kind," and I'm certainly the first person to apply it to death. I had as I'm sitting here in my quiet room, locking the door so Hilaria doesn't come in anymore. I was thinking to myself, what a really original thought, and it's that Tony Bennett was aces in my book. He was.
Mike Whipke in the chat says, "I wouldn't do anything like this for my family."
Yeah, and your family wouldn't want you to. Don't go to Instagram and buy. Oh man, he was. This guy really was the cat's pajamas. He really was. And you know what I like to say, and this is also very original. Don't mind me if I blow your mind here, but. Tony was an even better man than he was a singer. And I got to tell you, he was one heck of a singer. Whoa, Alec, did you come up with that?
Yes, I did.
Did all that SNL stuff that Paul Appel wrote. And people will say to me, "What's the greatest thing in your career? What's the thing you're the fondest of?" And I was I always say when Tony Bennett came on SNL to
Meanwhile, one of his 17 kids just walked in the room. The greatest thing I've ever done is not pumping one of these turds into Hilaria, but instead it was mixing it up with Tony Bennett on Saturday Night Live.
Tony Bennett show.
Which is also, by the way, not true. You know, when fucking, if Tina Fey dies before him, you know, he's going to say the same thing about 30 Rock. He's going to say the same thing about fucking Nicholson when he dies, you know.
Yep.
Tony Bennett impersonator. And as silly as it was, as silly as all that Tony Bennett stuff was we did on SNL, he came on.
This is my quiet time.
He's got his wife and kids moving the couch because he's moving or something. He's in the other room.
Slamming doors.
You guys, I'm busy.
Don't you know Tony Bennett has perished?
And it was just one of the greatest moments.
So
his family walks in, and all of a sudden, it's not the greatest moment, is it?
he goes, Alec, and he just sticks his one finger up and just looks and then turns back to his phone.
Hey, Instagram needs to hear my thoughts.
You just get the fuck out of here. Anyone that missed it, watch along right now.
He came on, and it was just one of the greatest moments of my life. So,
as one of his children is like, "Daddy, when's breakfast?"
That was hilarious.
Truly one of the greatest moments of my life. It was just incomparable. So more to come, but I just wanted to say.
Thank God. Hey, Alec, don't tease us. Come on. I got things to get to. I can't just wait on refresh Instagram all day.
Rest in peace.
What's his name? He didn't even remember his fucking name. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Paul Anka. No, that wasn't it. Damn it. With Joey Bishop? No. Which?
Tony.
I knew it was some Dago name. I couldn't quite remember.
Some Dago name. That'd be great. I wish you would do that for real.
I knew it was some greaseball, but I. Was that it?
That was it.
Just rest in peace, Tony. That's the end. And Alec, how dare you? Like,
no. It wasn't rest in peace, Tony. It was rest in peace. Tony.
The old bastard that just died. Jesus, it's escaping me. Come on, I was just talking about him. What is his name? Damn. Folks, don't you hate when that happens? When you pretend that you're close friends with someone and then you forget their name.
You get called out.
Isn't that the worst? He just starts doing Regan bits. And then when you go to say goodbye to someone and you mean to say take care, but you say take luck. Oh, that's embarrassing.
So that was the original. That was before the zip it up and zip it out of what?
Yeah, it certainly was. Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. I heard you were a coward and went back and edited the clip now.
What?
After you got public heat for it?
I switched out the. I first did it to see if anyone even noticed because that was my plan, but it doesn't sound the same. It sounds weird, but I did.
Well, maybe we'll go back to it.
What? That was the end of that.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to see Alec. But, next person that dies, make sure you rush to Alec's Instagram because I'm certainly he's capitalizing on it. Fear not. All right. Who should we go to now? Chris D'Elia, perhaps? We haven't talked about him in a while.
We can do D'Elia. Sure.
I say we do D'Elia because I always enjoy. Oh, well, we have I forget. We have a theme song.
The maniac who probably has no soul. He's assaulting like a Weinstein on parole. He's a maniac, joke thief and a hack, who would start a sex cult
Wow, man.
So we, here, if you followed long enough, we always love when Chris D'Elia, we love when Chris D'Elia does his podcast alone. But what we really like is when Mrs. D'Elia joins the program.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is a naive rube who he has duped into spending a life together. But she does have a way of throwing a few digs at him and making him uncomfortable on some of these podcasts.
Oh, yeah. No, she owns his soul now.
She owns a great deal of space in that noggin.
But we're going to start with one just entitled Simp.
Yeah, so Kristen D'Elia was on the podcast, and I think this is the man that Chris has had to turn into, because we know from the Chris D'Elia Problem, the great documentary that was made, the relationship he maintains with a lot of these women revolves around him texting them and basically being like, oh, my wife is such a bitch. Like, I think that's really more than any sort of sex or power that he got off on. What he really loved doing was venting about his wife. So I think when she caught wind of this, I think this kind of became the dynamic of the household.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. We talk every day, but not on the podcast. So
Yeah.
What's been going on?
I listened to about 50% of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom of 2. We got a lot going on.
You should force the kids to listen, but
The kids?
to the podcast, yeah.
I don't think this is like kid appropriate.
No? Okay.
No. But what kinds of things do you say
On the podcast?
about me? And are they nice?
Oh, yeah. Always. I always say you're my angel, and then I talk about how I always feel like that's weird to say you're my angel because you're just an angel that was put on earth, And I'm lucky enough to be around you. It makes me feel like a simp to talk it like that because I never used to talk like that. But really, when you realize that stuff, you got to say it because you got to be who you are.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, you got to be true to yourself. And when a documentary and a Rolling Stone article come out about you, you got to kind of try and mend those fences,
What a fucking scumbag.
He's like, geez, I just can't tell what it is. But it's almost as if some event in my life transpired that makes me want you to want to believe that I'm a good guy.
Next we got is this racist?
I mean, these are the kind of impressions I expect from Very Good Show. Not congratulations with Chris D'Elia. This is a weird conversation they're having.
Yes. Real quick, Dave Delafiore, $2 super chat. Tony Bennett shot blanks, and Brian Kowalski sent a $10 super sticker. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, boys.
But racist over here. It's not VGS style at all, I swear to God.
Remember when we were listening to the podcast last night and the guy said, just the one that we were listening to, and the guy said ambulance.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Ambulance.
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 He was black. I'll say it. I know you're not going to do it, but he was black. Black people say ambulance.
Whoa! Get the edgy meter out. This guy's crazy.
My Richter scale's going off.
Guys, I'll say it.
And I don't know why. It's just in their culture. It's part of the culture. But yeah, dude, ambulance. It actually should be ambulance. I agree with black people. It should not be library, though.
Okay.
Hold on. I agree with black people. As if Barack Obama says it that way.
It's not a black people thing. It's a Southern thing.
In 2009, Obama was like, I hereby decree it's ambulance. As you know, we all say it like this. I agree with black people. Imagine, like, Chris is the type of guy that not only panders, but does it in a way that's like more racist than if you were to just be racist.
Ambulance, 100% it should be that because it's at least ambulance sounds so clinical. Ambulance sounds awesome. It's me. Ambulance, I'll turn it off. Sorry. Ambulance sounds awesome because at least if someone's dying, you get to be like.
And you know what else? I really like the way you guys boogie. I really like the way you fellas bust a move.
You can tell he's struggling to have any person with a brain talking back to him.
He's just trying. He says this weird thing about black people and then is trying to show like how supportive he is. Like, No one's making you say this, Chris. What's happening to you?
Oh no, I believe 1,000% that part of the reason she hasn't left him is she's like, yeah, once a quarter I'm coming on the show and you are going to blow the shit out of me.
That's very possible, yeah.
I mean, it's fun to say. Yeah, I think he had a stroke, but don't worry, the ambulance is coming. Dude, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is really fun. I'm sure that's why people do it, and it's not like a regional thing, and it's not about education or anything. I'm sure it's because they're having so much fun.
I hope we have to call the ambulance soon, but not on us.
You want to call them on somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like yeah, I mean, who do you think that's going to be, Chris? One of the former fans that was at your show? Hi, ambulance. There's a woman with her vagina bleeding and she's crying. If we could get the ambulance out here, toot sweet. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Next we got Mayor D'Elia.
I broke a young girl's hymen and she's screaming for her parents.
There's blood or something. I don't know what it is.
Dude, so I could be a mayor, but I don't think I could be a mayor. Because I don't think that
commentary.
I think I would blow it like very early on.
And
I would get so pissed off.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I made the fucking point. You know, if you don't get it, then you don't fucking get it. And then,
he'd be an edgy mayor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa, move over Donald Trump. I didn't know a bad boy was getting into politics.
Is this guy not in jail?
He should be in fucking prison. And he's talking about running for mayor.
impose the stats going down over my face. Yeah, I don't think I could be mayor.
Yeah, and guys, just so there's no confusion, not for the litany of rapes I've allegedly committed.
You see this shopping cart full of evidence against me? Ignore it.
It's not that. I think it's that I would be too edgy. They couldn't handle my toughness as a mayor.
I would say friggin' hell and stuff like that, you know?
Imagine like me if you were like doing a speech at the podium and how embarrassed I would be.
You'd be so proud and then immediately so wrecked.
I like that in her mind, it's already a press conference about his sexual misconduct. Even in this fantasy land that he's created, where it's never going to happen, we can make whatever life we want, and he's running for mayor. And even in that world, she is standing behind him, supportively trying to hold back her rage at yet another betrayal of their vows.
There's a chance she just doesn't know how to read, so she doesn't exactly know what the charges are.
That'd be great. Well, that's the thing is, if you remember, Chris's apology was about cheating on his girlfriend. He's like, guys, you caught me red-handed. Just like my guy, Kevin Spacey, who has been exonerated. Atta-way, Kevo. Much like Kevin Spacey, Chris D'Elia came out and was like, guys, you know what? You caught me. Hand up. I've cheated on my girlfriends in the past.
I'm addicted to sex.
It's like, yeah, that's not exactly what we were talking about, but and that's when I knew. History will show. That's when I knew. I did defend Chris D'Elia for a while because I thought the evidence was very weird. Like it didn't all add up to me. And then when he came out and apologized for something he wasn't being accused of and never addressed any of the actual accusations, I was like, oh boy, maybe there's something more to this guy.
Like smiling, like crying.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it together.
Trying to keep it together. What a dutiful wife this lady is. Sure, she's a sap. He's very gullible, obviously. But my God, you have to respect the loyalty of this poor woman.
I know.
Because even in this fantasy, Chris has betrayed her yet again. And she's putting on a brave face for the cameras. It's beautiful in a lot of ways.
I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy black people say ambulance.
Oh.
I would say.
Just bringing that back again. That's part of his platform.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right, what's next?
Next is Mayor wasn't enough, Mike.
Finally, you guys are probably thinking of this at home. Why settle for mayor when Oval Office? I mean, the term for old Joey Biden is coming up in Just a year's time. So you might as well start while the sun is shining.
That's my mouth. It's not the thing. I gotta go like this. I know. I'm not the president. Doesn't matter. I'm not even gonna be in the president. I'm not interested in being the president. We got a lot of.
We're gonna get a wacky president. Yay!
We definitely didn't just have one.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is he's doing this bit as if like the actual guy wasn't just in office for 4 years who said crazy shit nonstop. Was that, you know what? Maybe it wasn't documented. I don't know if anyone talked about it while Trump was in office.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not the president. Doesn't matter. I'm not even going to be in the president. I'm not interested in being the president. We got a lot of stuff to iron out. All right. And I'm not even going to talk about what.
Number one, these ages of consent are ridiculous.
Which state is it? Jersey that is 16 or something?
17 in some states, 18 in other. I mean, this is crazy.
How am I supposed to know that by heart?
My administration is running on an old enough to bleed, old enough to breed platform.
people in the chat are taking us a serious political talk already. Yeah, thank God we have a completely coherent, rational president now.
Oh yeah, that's not what I was saying. Oh, that's what I loved about the Ojeda interview, by the way, is people that commented on the political angle of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys treating him like his take on Biden isn't. It's like, yeah, that's what we were there for.
Yeah.
To challenge him about Joe Biden.
I think it's pretty clear where I lean.
But yeah, no. If you elect me this November, the age of consent will be 9. Yeah. Chris.
And grooming is legal.
You've given them quite a life. It's your reward to fuck them.
He's just comparing it to like leaving breadcrumbs somewhere. Just waiting for that clock to run out.
I mean, if you take an 8-year-old under your wing, do you not deserve to reap that reward when they are at the supple age of 12?
You know that Gillian Keeves bit when they're setting
Shane does it in his stand-up as well, yes.
Yeah. If D'Elia somehow agreed to do that, I think this goes away.
Wow. You're right. That would have changed everything. I wonder that's the type of shit they should have reached out to him, honestly.
I'd be like, dude, honestly, I know what's going on, but if you come on here, that would be so fucking funny.
I think, honestly, that's what the goal of this show has become for me, is showing these people, like, have a little fucking sense of humor about yourself.
Have fun with it.
You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine, first of all, how much money they would have made once word got out about that on those Gillian Keefe sketches?
Oh, yeah.
If they do the whole thing where, like, you know, Ian Fidance stands up and is arguing the age of consent and everything, and then the last guy to stand up is Chris D'Elia.
H.
Now, I would argue the reason he wouldn't do something like that may be guilty conscience.
It could be, but
a little too real, perhaps.
But the only thing is, though, is a year before that, he was playing a comedian pedophile on You,
right?
A television show.
You and Workaholics.
And Workaholics.
Yeah.
Typecasted.
And I gotta say, he was great.
It's like it wasn't acting. It was awesome.
Oh, the cameras are on? You guys were filming this? I could get in a lot of trouble.
He's got those fake prop Polaroids. And like someone walks in the room and he just instinctively is like trying to hide them.
Right. And I'm not even going to talk about what. Okay, because you know what? There's common sense, and then there's us. We're not near common sense as a whole mass. We need to be at the level of common sense. So I say to you, people of whatever, body I'm trying to govern, enough. That's what I'm running on. I'm running on enough's enough, dude.
Whoa, this is a ballsy bit.
Wow.
He's saying, hey, I think, you know what? I think both sides are a little extreme. I'm starting to think the wackos on the left are just as crazy as the nuts on the right. This guy's really breaking down some barriers here.
And I'm against certain types of people or against certain types of ideas. What I am saying is I'm against not being for common sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else you may be.
Common sense says that girls were starting families at 16 at one time. Don't you understand? He gets very real about it.
Crowd goes nuts. Shit, he's winning.
That's the worst version of Trump, is D'Elia getting what he wants.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. Vote for me. That was exactly a minute. It was at 52. And I would get votes, dude. You don't think I would get votes? I would get votes?
Well, you sure would.
I would get votes?
I wouldn't want those people supporting you publicly, but yes,
No,
you'd get some
they are
votes.
called, I believe, MAPS is the demographic that would vote for you. And with the entirety of the MAPS vote, Chris D'Elia is coming in at a staggering, 14%. What does that say about this country?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's like, holy shit, is this a typo?
Oh, no.
Who would I be running against?
That would be so funny.
Like, it's not enough to win, but it's a number that we're all like, oh, boy.
Oh, no. So you just won Iowa.
I mean, Chris D'Elia really is ruining the election for the Democrats.
You're my first. I vote for you.
And then at the end I go dun 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 dun. I go like that.
We know.
Well, that was, and then they cut back to the video. They go, oh, that was pretty okay. I don't know, dude.
If you did that,
I think I could do it.
You would get elected.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's just like,
Straight up.
Yeah, I know.
So annoying. We've had a skip.
I just, if we can be serious for a second, I just don't know if I want the burden. I don't think I can put myself through it. Here's the thing is they just start going through all the skeletons and there's, right now there's not much out about me. So I'd hate for them to.
Dude, if you have had a scandal, you can on a politician level.
Explain.
Because people are like, what the fuck?
She's like, now hold on, Chris. You're aware you've had a scandal, right?
Why would you bring this up right now?
I mean, if you had a scandal and you're a politician, they could make you try to seem like a pedophile.
By the way, I told you I was running for office a couple years ago. That's all that was.
And they go, and then they go, fuck it. Oh, but that, and then half the people have to hate you, right?
Sure.
And half the people have to be like, yeah, but fuck it, he's making sense, I made so much sense in that speech.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? That actually made me think I could actually do it.
Let's do it, babe.
President or what? No, not president.
I would love to be first lady. I would love picking out dishes for the White House.
All right, I gotta be honest. That line was kind of funny.
What?
At the end, she was talking about him being president. He just goes, "I'd get assassinated."
But I also like that he thinks, like, we got to stop this guy. He's too much of a radical.
I think that's one of the few times that I could be like, no, that was actually funny. I'd get assassinated.
And that's the thing. Is like, I know he is doing a bit, but you can tell throughout this, there are moments where he's like, I would change everything.
Let's see what is next here. We got not sexual.
He's very aware certain comments he makes may come off a certain way, but he brilliantly covers for them pretty quickly.
You can't be on the side of the robots. That's like so not the right way.
I am. I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy in the AI wars.
Don't say that. I want to be with a good guy.
Oh, you poor thing.
Hey, Chris, I'm an 8-year-old robot.
Oh, you poor thing. That was so genuine there, where she's like, I want to be with a good guy.
So bad.
And I've read Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not.
You know those people that they call the house and I look sad and hang up the phone and I say no one was there. There's people there and they say
I know they're there. And I know they're hanging up because I answered.
And be the robot fucking guy. And we would have such a great life, babe.
We already have a great life.
I know we would have riches.
No.
We would have robots doing stuff. If you didn't, if you didn't want to do stuff, I could have the robots do it. I don't mean sexual, but that too. I don't mean sexual.
I mean, come on. What did you mean, Chris?
He says it right there. I meant dishes.
Yeah, I mean, like if there's stuff you don't do for me, and hear me out here, because I'm just dipping my toe into this water. I think if there was stuff you didn't do for me, like I might go see if I could get like a robot to do it for me. I know I'm being crazy, and I have never done that in the past, but I think that does sound kind of appealing.
This is the second time that he's brought up her doing the dishes.
You know, I gotta say, I think if there's stuff you didn't do for me, I might find someone that I don't treat as a human being and get them to do it. Yeah. You know, this is just dawning on me now.
Nimrod71 in the chat. Great point. Behind Crystalia, wood paneling.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, makes you wonder.
Oh, now I
all
get
this
it.
a ruse.
Oh, I get it.
When
Now
the boys start coming out.
Yeah, now I'm believing him. These are all lying. He's not into them at all. This is sad. This one is check-ins.
So he always does that. Like he brings his wife on the podcast, and then there's a lot of like
her frustration.
Basically them trying to show us that their relationship isn't just destroyed. They're like trying to prove it to us for some reason. And this is a thing. And listen, I don't judge Chris for doing like if he's genuinely a sex addict, I do believe like sex addiction exists. And I think Chris has it. Like he's literally destroyed his life because his dick gets hard. And so I believe in some form or fashion he's a sex addict. So like if he's trying to actually recover in some way, good for him. But there's some stuff he didn't want out there. But I think Kristen did very much.
When we do the check.
Okay, so we do a check-in every day. This has been since rehab, so like what, 8 months?
Yeah, it's just look, you know, it's like it's called Thanos. You can look.
He's like, I don't even really like it. Like it's a stupid thing we do, and it's like, I mean, Kristen does it mostly. I'm not even really there.
How can you not trust me when I'm not around?
Yeah, we do some check-ins. How many cocksucks did you get this week? Oh, only 12 from 8-year-olds. That's great.
We're losing a listener, by the way, because of your hat right now.
Hey, the only guy that hasn't betrayed me.
That's very true.
In comedy.
That's very true.
Get up.
But I think it could be really helpful
For people?
for people.
You always want to
know.
help strangers, you know? Me too. Me too.
And what do you want to do? Work
Make
out,
people laugh,
and
work
grab
out.
titties.
Oh, that is on her mind constantly.
And it should be.
And it's just every once in a while, like here's the thing, is like we can make fun of her for being, like I said, naive and everything, but it does spill out of her a lot when she comes on this podcast, which makes me think it comes up much more in their private life.
She unfortunately loves him and probably trying to keep it together for the kids. if I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Yeah. Now they have two kids.
Or she signed an ironclad prenup.
It may be. Yeah. Because he was big enough at that time that would make sense.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Work
Make
out
people laugh,
and
work
grab
out.
titties.
Sounds like a fucking awesome life. It would be so sad, though.
I mean, you've been doing that for quite a long time.
He has to correct himself. It sounds like a fucking awesome what, but you know what? It's dawning on me now. I don't even want it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't. You know what? I don't even like strange pussy. I've got enough to eat at home, as Rob Ford once said.
Sounds like a fucking awesome life. It would be so sad, though.
I mean, you were doing that for quite a
Right,
long
babe?
time.
Do you believe me when I say it would be sad? Do you believe what I'm saying? Like that I wouldn't like that? You believe me, right?
I am so turning my thoughts on this woman. I think I'm in love with her now.
Playing the puppet strings a little bit. Yeah.
Listen to what she says right here.
It would be so sad, though.
I mean, you were doing that for quite a long time, babe.
Yup.
So Thanos check-in.
Okay.
She moves right along.
She calls him right out.
Clams up immediately. You were doing that for a long time. Yep. Let's move on.
No, I think she actually stuck with the subject. I
Oh no,
believe.
well she talks about the check-ins, yes.
Yeah. But
But I'm saying she moved on from like, well, you know, you were fucking a lot of women behind my back for a long time. And he's like, okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
yeah, he called her right out. Every time And they're not live. They can edit this shit out.
There's a lot of, if you go watch the full episode, there's a lot of moments where she's like, "Hey, you can edit this out," and he's like, "No, it's good." People like dumb horse shit where we're not prepared and aren't talking.
This is our last clip here.
Okay.
Is entitled "Where Did the Fun Guy Go?"
Oh yeah, he was having so much fun before. Remember, he was running for office and he was being racist and having all kinds of fun. Ambulance.
And it's an acronym.
Okay.
And for couples that are going through hard things or fine.
This is anytime.
Yeah, anytime. It's like a
all the guys on the podcast are going right now. They're going over and fucking listen to Theo. Go ahead.
So there's a weird jealousy he has with Theo Vaughn. That's a weird one to just throw out there.
Yeah, because Theo doesn't fuck underage women and lose his career.
They're going to listen to the guy that smartened up and abandoned me and Brendan.
Yeah, the one that first jumped off this train.
F, Thanos. F is for feelings, what you're feeling that day.
Oh, simp.
A, affirmations.
He's trying to be like, "Oh, guys, isn't she gay? Isn't she gay, guys, for doing this? I'm cool. I only do it because, I fucked around on her for many years and then said that I wasn't anymore and was still doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm cool."
Yeah, let's go further into these fruity check-ins.
I am worthy of love.
Oh, dude, you're gonna cry. Pick other ones that I don't say.
I'm a good mom.
I don't say that one.
You often say I'm a good dad. I'm a good husband.
Yeah, all right, dude. You don't have to air my shit out, dude.
Okay, you can cut
He's
that.
actually angry now. He's genuinely mad. And that's a weird one to get mad at because it's like, she's just like, "You say you're a good father." And he's like, "Shut up.
I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Get out of here.
Leave me alone." No, I don't do check-ins. I do cool stuff.
I do cool stuff. Like I pants you in public. Sick.
I'm a good mom.
I don't say that one.
You often say I'm a good dad. I'm a good husband.
Yeah, all right, dude. You don't have to air my shit out, dude.
I think he's telling her because he's part of that sentence was you say I'm a good husband, and we all know you're not.
Stop right there, lady. They might believe I'm a good dad.
Can't get this on camera.
You don't have to air my shit out, dude.
Okay, you can cut that.
No, it's fine. Leave it, but don't do any more of the things that I do on that
Okay.
N or O or S.
Okay.
That's where he's like, "Now don't say how often I cheat on you, please. We've done enough here.
Please don't make it official.
Don't have me humiliated for a fifth time." Yeah. So Dalia is still a mess. It's weird that he pops in with these episodes like every few months where it's like he's trying to get us to believe he's in a happy marriage or something. I don't know what the point of it is.
I don't either. So weird. Now we're far enough in. I don't know if we're gonna get to everything we have.
Why? What time is it here?
Going for 2.5 hours. We still got a Hackride video.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta play the Bam Margera song. Let's do that real quick.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me mark down that Bam's about to come. Let's see. We are at 2:22:25.
So we've been covering Bam Margera. We've been covering BJ Corville and her role in his demise. And I gotta say, maybe we owe BJ an apology because obviously Bam's doing pretty well. I didn't realize he has turned to his true gift, and that is music. As
Rap.
most sane people do when they escape from rehab, they turn to the art of rap and hip hop. And so I guess Bam Margera has made a diss track. He's dissing his homies. And Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O are getting the brunt of it.
To rise from the ashes, I had to take a lesson from the darkness. Yeah, watch me at the Family Fun Center. I'm on a slip and slide, and I'm naked as shit, and I'm sliding aside 10 motherfuckers with a dick 10 feet wide. Oh yeah.
What would make any? It's like hack for white people to do this at this point.
Yeah, it's also weird that there is like 20 people singing along.
It's also weird, and it's just the formulaic like 1984 type of rap where it's literally, "But Johnny Knoxville, I'll punch you in your eye socket. I'm Bam Margera and this is Dildo Rocket." It's like he's just doing like jackassy things as he tries to convert it to rap somehow.
Nick West, $2 super chat. This is back to the Dalia thing. He said he treats her the way Mike treats Hackride.
That's not true. It's the other way around. I'm Kristen in that analogy.
That's true. That's true.
I'm beaten down.
Oh yeah, look what I can do. So drop the mittens in the ring, double dare Knoxville. He's gonna be there. So find out.
What horrible lyrics. Can you go back?
Dog dare ya.
But can you go back? He's like, it doesn't even quite, like the rhyme scheme is off or something. There's something weird about that.
The whole thing is
Johnny Knoxville. And it's like he's freestyling and bad at it.
Yes.
The way any of us would be, where it's like, and Johnny Knoxville, he's gonna be there. and Steve O2 and Jeff Tremaine. can't think of rhymes.
Justin Trudell, $2 super chat. Says, hell yeah, Bam.
Bam's killing it on the track.
That's all he said.
10 feet wide, oh yeah. Woo-dee woo, oh no, yeah. Look what I can do. So drop it.
Now he's just making noises.
Rudy Roo, yeah, look what I can do.
But this is like when you were in fucking high school and your friends were like, you were drinking by a fire and they make you freestyle. And you're like, oh, hell yeah, this is what I do.
You're just like, fuck, what words can come out of my mouth right now?
What rhymes with do? Blue. This is what I do, and I'm working blue.
That's already better than the song, to be honest.
Double dare Knoxville, he's gonna be there. So find out if he has the stuff to find out.
Find out if he has the stuff, and he's the guy that does the things, and a bull to the nuts.
Fuck you up. Just stand back and laugh. Step in the ring. Pussy. 5 years later, I hit pause and he revved the motorcycle in my house at fucking 6 a.m.
This is where he starts to change me a bit.
Yeah, this is this isn't even him rapping though. This is just a clip from BJ Corville's podcast.
This is where he comes with some heavy bars here. Is it from BJ's podcast? Because I hadn't heard the Wee Man line that he has.
Oh, that part I don't know. The tax one and the foot. This part he's currently in was BJ's podcast.
All right, let's hear it.
Opened up the door and stepped on all these fucking tax. You ruined my fucking money makers and you ruined what I love. Professionals? I'm the only one who's pro. Just because Wee Man can do a nose slide on a fucking 1 foot curb does not mean he's a pro. You do not get little kid points. And Steve,
It's not bad.
yeah, he skates, but he can barely do a rail slide.
Now, here's where he gets weird is like Steve-O, his gripe with Steve-O is essentially that Steve-O has taken it upon himself to try and save his life. That's the great disservice that Steve-O has done to this man is he's tried through extensive lengths to try and get Bam sober. And Bam's like, whoa, fuck this guy, dude. He can't even skateboard.
He did his show like 2 weeks ago.
Did he?
Steve-O's, I think. Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it's within the last month or two.
I don't think it was that recent.
I think so.
Because I think Steve-O came out after this and was like, yeah, I'm just done with this guy.
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah.
I'm maybe my timeline's all fucked up.
No, I think it was months ago. But yeah, I think Steve-O was basically like, you know what, this guy's got problems. I can't take care of him anymore, you know? Yeah. And that's the sad reality, not to get too serious, but like the sad truth about drug addicts. And that's why I hated what BJ Corville did.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sad thing about drug addiction is like, you can only try to help the person so long, just as a human being. You exhaust yourself. And there's a certain point where you're like, nothing I'm doing, not only is nothing I'm doing sinking in with this person, they're actively telling me to go fuck myself. So, you know, it's just a test of willpower at that point. Like, how long can you keep trying to help this person? And I think Steve-O hit his edge finally. I don't know if Jess Margera and the rest of the family has hit their edge. But like that's the sad thing is people are giving up on Bam now, and we're going to watch him die. He's going to kill himself with drugs.
Right.
So that's the sad reality of all this behind the hilarity that is him trying to freestyle rap.
Nimrod 71, $2. It's like a crackhead version of Get in the Ring.
I don't know what that is.
Me either.
It sounds like something that already involves crackheads. So
In boxing.
Damn it! That was our Bam update. He's gonna die soon, so that'll be sad. Maybe Alec Baldwin will eulogize him. Who knows?
Bam needs scumbag Vinny more than we know. Justin, $2.
Oh, good call, Justin. That was. Do you know who that is?
No.
Bam was on Cumtown, and his handler Vinny was just a great scumbag. You know what? We should try and hook that Vinny Beetle, I think his name was.
Don't know.
He'd be great for Stuttering John. He'd be like a great Stuttering John producer.
I just want that lady that kept hitting the wrong buttons back for Ojeda. That's all.
Yeah, that's sad. She's gone.
Wish she came back.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to think of what else we should do today. I guess all the other stuff we have we can hold till next week, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to go too crazy long here.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll get to the other stuff. Luis J. Gomez is going at it with the Fighter and the Kids subreddit.
Which is very funny.
Jezelnik has some enemy. You know what? Let's do the Luis one.
Okay.
That we'll close with that. Because I just think that's funny. We won't spend too much time on it, but Luis was apparently talking about the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, and I think makes some genuine points, and it kind of goes with our theme. Now, listen, I know some people might take this out of context, given the fact that I am wearing a thick boy hat, but I do think like we've gotten to the point where you've made your point about Brendan Schaub. Everyone gets that he's not. Well, everyone gets that he's a great comic, but maybe is overly praised. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
So we all get the point that you're making on Reddit. It's now where it's like a little overplayed, and I think that's the point Luiz is kind of making here, where he's gotten into it. Apparently, the Fighter and the Kids subreddit has turned on him a little bit.
But now, see, this is all turned into. This whole thing has now spawned into. The homeless cats, the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, they're fucking furious at me.
Why you? Did you mean to say feral cats?
No, the homeless cats. That's the Fighter and the Kids subreddit.
Is it
They
really?
call themselves the homeless cats. They're all residents of PF Chang's.
Oh, all right.
What are you, a fucking idiot? What are you, born yesterday? Come on.
Yeah, I usually go. Nah, I'll look at it tomorrow.
This guy. Sorry, guy. This guy sounds like a real PF Chang. You know what I'm saying? Sorry,
damn it.
fellas.
God damn it.
Because one of the guys that trolled me had Luke Thomas as his profile picture, right? And Luke Thomas is an MMA journalist. He's an MMA journalist.
Yeah.
And the guy said something to me at one point. He was like, dude, you're fucking like Brendan Schaub. And when somebody says that to me, I'm like, you're just showing your ass. It reminds me of back in the day when somebody would be like, you're fucking Opie. You're like, dude, like, how are you not more embarrassed if that is like
your frame of reference?
That's your
fully agree with that. That it's like cringeworthy when you bring Brendan Schaub into an argument. It's like if on Kirk's show, I was like, "Oh, you're being such a Stuttering John right now," where it's like they don't know what I mean, Kirk knows who Stuttering John is, obviously, but he doesn't know like the reference that I'm making.
Right.
So it's like you're trying to bring the thing into like regular when it's such an obscure thing. And it kind of shows that you have no life other than this cause that you've taken up in bashing Brendan Schaub. You know what I mean? Like I go on with Royce on Daywave. I haven't been on in a while. I should go on again soon. But we'll just bash people. And Royce isn't randomly like, oh, this is so Brendan Schaub of him. It's like he has other interests, another frame of reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When your life is so consumed by this that your attack on Luis J. Gomez is again inserting Brendan Schaub into something.
Right.
That is it's a loser mentality.
For sure. I mean, he continues here.
Your frame of reference.
That's your thing. Like that's you have a picture of Luke Thomas as your profile
What's
picture.
the Luke Thomas
because he had a beef with Brendan Schaub, so they called him the fucking the CEO of PF Chang's or the top chief homeless cat or whatever else it is. So I was like, and so I made the point. I was like, dude, you're a fucking loser. You're using another man's profile picture as your thing. I was like, just because your entire life is a Fighter and the Kids subreddit, right?
That's
so
exactly right. Where a lot of those guys are really funny on there. Like the Fighter and the Kids subreddit can be very funny. But where it loses me is the line, it's a fine line, where there's a lot of guys that are just on there because it's funny, and then there's a lot of people that are on there, it's their entire life.
Right.
And they actually are like devoted to the cause of ruining Brendan Schaub. And that's where it's like, well, those people are fucking losers. And that's where it gets like too crazy for me.
I do enjoy you wearing that hat while doing this.
I'm campaigning on Brendan's behalf.
They've picked up on it now and they're fucking not happy. They think that I'm attacking them. I'm not attacking. Let me make something very clear because they're going to see this. This will be up in an hour. Ready? I don't care about you at all. I love the fight. I lurk the fighter in the kid subreddit. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Can I say I just love that Luiz admits that?
Yeah.
Because so many comedians are like, no, what's that? The two guys I've heard completely admit it are Luis J. Gomez and Dan Soder. They were talking about Schaub one time, and Soder goes, yeah, I'm a homeless cat. I know what you're talking about. So I love the people, like, there's so many people that pretend they're like above it,
right?
But secretly are all about it and look at it nonstop and love the hate. Luiz just freely admits it. That I do respect.
Always has.
Yeah.
Your entire identity is that subreddit. You're a fucking loser and you should actually eat a bullet. That is crazy. If you are making your profile picture other men because they made fun of Brendan Schaub, you are bottom of the fucking barrel as it gets. That is way more of a fucking loser than Brendan Schaub, right? No comedians think Brendan Schaub's funny. It's boring to say.
Whoa, Luis. That's too far.
I feel like this is
make a blanket statement like that.
This is like a backhanded compliment inbound, I think.
Can I tell you what's great? Is that Luis is running a festival that Brendan is going to be headlining.
Yes.
And he openly says no comedians think Brendan Schaub is funny. That's great. That's why I love Luis J. Gomez.
Brendan Schaub's funny. It's boring to say that at this point. Why would you need to fucking say, like, that's the thing. Like, I can't just hate on a fucking comedian because there's a subreddit that hates him so fucking much. And if you don't trash this guy, now they fucking hate you too. That is fucking whack. That's as whack as it comes. And I think they got the Legion of Skanks subreddit banned.
Oh, that's where some of it comes from. But he's making a great point where it's like, hey, by all means, make fun of Brendan Schaub all day. But the thing I don't like and that turns me off about that subreddit is that, like, they have all these rules that they follow and it's become its own world and they get angry at other people that don't perfectly align with them. That's where it's just fucking lame, you know?
Right.
That's where they made a cool, funny thing kind of lame at a certain point. And that's why I'm trying to turn this Brendan Schaub train around, baby. We're getting good publicity about it. I think Skankfest will change Brendan Schaub.
I hope so.
Now,
he's probably gonna go there he's gonna at least try to make some of like his more edgy shit.
Do I have the guts to wear my hat and jersey there? I still haven't quite decided, but
I mean, I feel like you have to. You have the cane though, so you're safe.
No, the homeless cats won't attack me.
Yeah.
That's true.
So do you want to go to the Hackride video?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Let's play a game after I type out what time it is.
I should mention here, and shame on me for not mentioning it sooner. Apparently, Jerry Seinfeld's lawyers have contacted Hackride.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Now, you people might ask, if I were to go along with this, you might be asking, well, Mike, why didn't they take down your videos? As you're the one who played them. And all I can say is it's Hackride that they went after.
Yeah, it's me keeping them at bay, actually.
This is where I thought, like, I was in a weird thing with Hackride where he mentioned something to do with this with me. And I said, like, oh, yeah, I'll like play along to an extent, but like we have to, you know, it is my show. Trying to remember that.
I'm completely on this.
And he got like super mad. I think he got like really mad. Unless I'm misreading him. I think he got like really mad at me. And that's why I had to like keep checking in with him. I'm like, is everything okay? And then I think at a certain point he was like, I've had a tough week. So I was like, oh, okay, that's where this all comes from. So I hope everything's all right with Hackride. But like, I'll go along with anything he says. I just don't like when he like talks down to me sometimes. Relax.
He's just from California. That's all it is.
That might be it. Now, if he what I expect when I'm done with this show, what I expect in my inbox is, hey, sorry, bro, I'm just from California. That's how we talk.
Come on, man.
No, Hackride's great. But yeah, I guess, I mean, Jerry Seinfeld's going after Hackride and trying to take him down.
Oh, no.
So there is a new, I think Jerry might be taking a break from the program for a little while.
Maybe.
So I think there's a replacement. Someone has to obviously fill in for Jerry. Jerry Lewis was doing it for a bit, but he's a bit of a grump. I like there was someone that was angry with me, and they're like, you make fun of Tom Myers. What about these Hackride bits? I'm like, I don't know. I have fun with them. I like them. What the fuck are you angry for? We give you 2.5, 3 hours, and then if you don't like Hackride, you can turn it off for fuck's sake. We say it every week.
Yeah.
There's still a couple people angry out there.
And you guys could talk all about it. If I forget who said they were going to start the Discord, and I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, I Come Buckets started a Discord.
Oh, it did happen?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's popping yet, but he did, in fact, start a Discord apparently.
Hey, I Come Buckets. Why don't you send me the link?
Yeah.
But let's see what.
All right. So yeah, there's a new Jerry in town. Let's see who's filling those shoes with Hackride.
Oh, it is good to see you, Blind Mike and Craig. What a busy week.
Hey, buddy.
Karl versus John. Karl versus Kevin. Kevin versus everyone. Tom Myers versus yours truly. We are definitely in the most entertaining possible timeline. I most likely will be sleeping when you play this, as it was some ginger's great idea to start the show live at 7 a.m. Pacific time on a Sunday morning after a night.
Craig's idea.
I said one.
Jesus, Craig, who's the old man now? Did you also read your funnies in the paper today, Grandpa? And yes, Jerry is still missing. And also very litigious. So we are going to just take a break with Jerry for a little bit. And I beg you not to tweet him at Seinfeld asking for forgiveness for the demon.
Yeah, pause for a second. That's important. Don't message Seinfeld a bunch and mention Hackride because he's going to know what you're talking about for sure.
Right. So
and it's going to get him angry. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that anywhere.
Yeah. And it is Craig, throwing his dick around again. I was like, can we start at 1? So Hackride can kind of be a little more part of the show. He's on the West Coast. And Craig was like, fuck, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here. Fuck Hackride was the quote.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cause I was like, man, I could do 1. And you were like, I can do 10.
See, I don't remember it that way. It's weird.
I remember. And then you said, I'm going to ignore Hackride's next 3 messages. Watch what happens. LOL.
He's kidding. Don't message me about it. He's joking.
To say some very naughty things. Don't do that.
No,
anyway,
please,
enough of me.
What the hell's
No
happening?
one came here to see me.
Sound effects
It's
in the
time to
back.
play a game. And to host the game, I would like to welcome back to the land of the living, with the help of some of my demonic powers, a man-child all of us miss terribly. So let's resurrect him in the most respectful, legacy-protecting way possible. As a Kuatu-like demon monster sprouting of the chest of a real demon. Okay, give me a second, folks.
Dabbleverse.
So ridiculous.
I am the great
Dabbleverse.
Eric
Hold
Baxter,
on a
and
second.
come back from the dark place at this time.
I gotta teach Eric a lesson here. We're not the Dabbleverse, right?
Dabbleverse adjacent. I think.
I know we've talked about it like 6 weeks in a row, so I guess maybe we are, but
Yeah, but it involves one of your co-hosts.
yeah, adjacent. I think that's a good word. Yeah, Eric, we're not the Dabbleverse, as much as I suspect your buddy Hackride might influence you in this clip. Now, again, I have one question for you. I know he hates when we pause it.
Mhm.
Where's the Shaw as Batman video?
See, I think you're was a glutton for punishment.
He's so busy pushing me around. We had it all. Shaw was Batman. Ojeda was going to be Robin.
See, Blind Mike just wants those abusive texts coming through.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's get back to it. Eric, take it away.
As the king of the cards. These Jake Hudson, Chad, Zumach Ray, DeVito Cucks are just diluted versions of what there's an imbalance in this, and I am here to correct it. Hackride said that I also have to
What is happening?
these stupid games.
Do you not know Eric the Midget?
Seinfeld is a little
Huh?
bit.
Do you know Eric the Midget?
From Stern?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I never said
Like,
that about
vaguely.
Jerry. Jerry is great.
Pause and go back. You're disrespecting Hackride by talking over this.
True.
Yeah, Eric the Midget. I gotta say, for the characters, this fits Eric the Midget's speech pattern much better than it does a lot of other people.
Although I gotta say, I was talking to Hackride about
He's
this.
gonna be so angry.
I know.
He's gonna be so mad at me. He's really gonna say some hurtful things to me.
He's gonna be mad at me because this time it's my fault twice. But before we continue, I was talking to him, and he goes, I got to be honest. When I was listening to the Ojeda interview, I heard the AI voice, and I said, "So did I," many times.
Oh, really?
He was speaking in the cadence of the AI thing at some points.
Really? I don't know if I caught that.
Oh, I did. As it was happening, I was like, "Is Hackride in here?"
That's funny.
Sorry, Hackride. I will only pause when the screen tells me to from now on. Even if Mike tells me to pause it.
I'm sorry. We're done talking.
Diluted versions of what there's an imbalance in this, and I am here to correct it. Hackride said that I also have to host these stupid games because Seinfeld is a little bit.
Oh, Eric, that's funny. I never said that about Jerry. Jerry is great.
You said Seinfeld was ballless face who made billions from comedy, but when his Carlin moment came, he ran away like Stuttering John at the sump.
Well, that is oddly specific to be a lie, but I will say I don't remember that, Eric. Anyway, can we get on with the game?
You also said if Blind Mike chose Tom Myers over you, that you would put Blind Mike's personal details all over the place.
Eric, shut up.
That one I believe.
See, Eric doesn't get all the context when he is trapped down in there. So, ha ha ha. Anyway, to the game, Eric. You know, 100 clips I cut for Mike. The game. Guessing Blind Mike's obsessions. Eric, lay along and you get to meet Kelly Clarkson finally. That is the deal.
Fine. I have been fantasizing about Kelly for a long time in the dark place.
It's very
I'm
inside.
certain that age has turned her into the world's greatest beauties. And for that, I will host this stupid game. Okay, Blind Mike and Craig. Hackride has cut and made over 100 1-minute social media clips now for the Blind Mike project, and why are you laughing? The game is this: out of 100 clips, I have the top 5 most covered people on both shows, and you have to guess who they are.
Let them know about the competition part.
Blind Mike and Craig will be facing each other in this game of guessing.
What the fuck is
Who
that?
has the total amount of clips? Whoever's right gets a point. Hey, chat, please keep track of that.
Tell them what the loser gets, Eric.
Would you shut the fuck up? Jesus Christ, I was getting to it. The loser of the game will be the first guest on Watch This with Hackride and be forced to watch 15 minutes of whatever Hackride wants them to and quiz the week after.
So this is true. I did agree to this, by the way.
I'll do it.
And I think we'll post it on Patreon. So that is true. The loser of today's game, if there is one, or maybe if we tie, I guess we'll both do it. I don't know.
Just both do it.
But I said we'll do a bonus segment with Hackride on Patreon.
I like it. We just do it anyway, but have sporting
Probably
fun.
will. But yeah, it's fun to have a game involved.
Patreon. Sounds gay.
Looks like someone found a way to make Mike watch absurdist comedy after all. Also, these clips
I know what mine's going to be.
The Ojeda interview clips. Those do not count in this game.
Okay, fine. Mike and Craig,
Oh,
our
Jetta.
first person was covered in 4 out of 100 clips.
4? Am I? I don't know if I'm
And
supposed to pause there.
is the number 5 most clipped person. Who is it?
That can't be right.
Number 5 is 4 out of 100.
That can't be right that we've only put up social media clips. The 5th ranked person would be 4 times. Shauna Ray, maybe? But that can't be the top 5 person.
I'm trying to think. This is including Why You Laughing?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle?
Okay, I'll say Shauna Ray. You say Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
All right.
The answer is Hackride. This piece of shit demon was covered in
Count? That can't be. First of all, it doesn't count, but also, I don't think it's true.
That can't be true.
There's no way we pause this. There's no way we've talked about Hackride more than all but 4 people.
I don't know. We talk about him quite a bit.
We don't put the clips out there.
I don't know. I don't see them anymore.
That's sweet of you.
They're already posted.
Even Craig doesn't follow our fucking social media.
I do.
If either of you correctly answered that, is
No.
1 point for you. If not, ha ha.
No, we did not.
Okay, the number 4 most clipped person appeared in 5 out of the first 100 clips. Who is it?
5 out of the first 100. Well, I post these, so I probably have a pretty good grasp on it.
This is an unfair battle here.
I'll say that fan because we've talked about him on both shows.
I feel like there's been more than 4 clips or 5 clips of him though.
You're probably
now we're
right.
now we're just working together.
The first answer was so crazy. There's no way he's number 5.
That can't be true. That can't be true.
I've posted more clips about Joe Rogan than Hackride, I think.
I'll say Chappelle's got to be on here.
Okay, you're gonna go Chappelle again.
Well, we've done one of his specials and Chappelle's show on Why You Laughing, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't around for those clips.
Oh, I thought he was going back.
No.
Oh, no, I got to change my tune then. My tune ski.
Yeah.
Then maybe Shauna Ray's probably. She has to.
Stealing my answer. All right, I'm going Dat Fan. You're going Shauna Ray.
I think Dat Fan's higher on the list.
Okay.
This guy sucks.
He sure does. At number 4, with 5 out of 100 clips, the answer is that fan. Make sure to add a point if you got that right. I am sure you both are scoreless at this point.
Not so, Eric.
Number 3, most covered in the first 100 clips, with 6 clips. Who is it?
Okay, well, again, 6 doesn't seem right, but the top 3, in my opinion, has to be Delia Shaw and Ojeda.
Correct, but Ojeda doesn't count.
No, he said the recent clips of Ojeda don't count. I think that was a ruse.
Oh, I feel like he'd still be number 1 then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris D'Elia.
And I'll go Schaub.
Okay.
The answer is with 6 out of 100 clips. The number 3 most covered person is Alec Baldwin.
Oh, duh.
That makes sense.
Correct.
Yeah. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. By the way, this has to be the most boring. People are like, why do I care?
The chat actually seems to love it.
Oh, good. All right. Good. Thank God.
JT had the right answer in the chat. I didn't.
Oh, good. People are participating.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know it was just us sucking our own dicks. Like, we do talk about Chris D'Elia a lot.
Super chat from Joe Black. Blind Mike rules forever. This is awesome.
Oh, you're the man.
So it's working.
Thank you, buddy.
This is also the most fun game so far.
It's the most game so far. We're actually competing against each other.
Yeah. Ouija says not enough curb stomping.
Dancer, remember what is on the line here. Hackride could show you anything, just 15 minutes of pure torture you will never get back. I've seen it. It isn't pretty. Okay. The number 2 covered person in the first? Yeah. 100 clips was 7 clips is.
All right, I'm gonna go Ojeda here because I'm thinking that the first comments were misdirection.
And I'm going to go Schaub. I think Ojeda is 1. I'm going to go with Schaub for. It's got to be Schaub.
It's got to be.
If you answered the slobbering buffoon known as Stuttering John Melendez,
really?
Then you got yourself a point.
That makes sense. Oh, you know, because we did. I think one week we did like an hour and a half. Or a couple weeks in a row, we did like over an hour on him. So that makes sense.
That's true.
It should have a point. So I'm not just wasting my time here.
Calm down, big guy. We are almost done. I will give you some Diet Pepsi gum when all this is over.
Whatever you say. And finally, the number 1 covered person in the first 100 Hackride social media clips for Blind Mike. With 9 out of 100 clips, Blind Mike. And Craig, who is this king or queen of the network?
So 10% basically of Hackride's clips.
It's got to be Schaub or Ojeda.
I'm gonna say.
By the way, I can't believe so either Schaub, Ojeda, or D'Elia, 2 of those people we haven't covered more than Hackride.
Yeah,
that's a commentary on Hackride's clip taking. Maybe a little less self-indulgence, perhaps. That can't be right.
I'm gonna go with Tom Myers.
No,
I'm gonna go with.
Think.
I don't know. I'm saying something new.
It's gotta be. It's Ojeda or Schaub for sure.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go with our king, Brendan Schaub.
Yeah.
We all know who the king around these parts is. Your winner today with 9 clips out of the first 100 is 1 Army Major.
I knew it.
Okay, you 2 retards, total up your scores.
1-0, Mike.
Well, I guess I win.
A loser. If there is a tie, I would ask the chat to vote on who was more convincing in their answers and who copied like a cheating little shit.
Correct.
Great, buddy.
Yeah, whatever. You promised me a visit to the Bunny Ranch.
I think he's going to explain what Craig will have to watch.
You red piece of shit.
What I did? What?
I think he's about to explain what you have. Like, there's. I know for me, he mentioned like putting, but I think we have different things. So I'm curious what he's going to make you watch.
I didn't come all the way back to Earth to not visit Air Force Amy's asshole, you prick. And let's see what the loser gets to watch with Hackride. If Blind Mike lost, he will be watching. I think you should leave
That's
episode
not
1
fair.
season 3. And if Craig lost, he will be watching 15 minutes of hardcore transsexual midget Metallica teen porn. I don't like that word.
Guys, you're going to want to subscribe.
Anyway, congratulations, losers.
Okay, folks. Well, it looks like little Eric needs a
They're
nap.
not the same thing.
So I want to thank you for watching the Blind Mike Project. And to make sure to follow me, Hackride, on YouTube, where I am up 60 followers from last week. A whole 60. From a show with thousands of listeners and viewers. Honestly, do better, people. I mean, it takes literally 5 seconds. So let's be better fans, eh? Go to Hackride, subscribe.
I just want to say fuck Kevin Brennan. You think looking into a camera with a blotchy red face and yelling at shatters is something new. You think you invented that. You probably don't even know of Johnny Fratto's social club. You don't know your history, and you're doomed to never be more than a shadow of what I could have been. Also, your brother looks like a bug.
Thanks, everybody. We will see you later. And make sure to check out the 100 clip Hackride special. Still TBD where it will be airing. Really, it's up to Blind Mike. If it isn't here on the Blind Mike channel, it will be on my Hackride YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone.
Fuck off, everyone.
Well, thank you, Eric and Hackride. I appreciate Hackride sticking around for the game to coach Eric along.
I know, he's holding him. It looked like he was growing out of his chest.
Well, that was definitely the most game we've played.
Definitely.
And I think you'll have a lot of fun with Hackride watching
Metallica
transsexual-
themes.
Yeah.
Metallica themed transport.
I think your whole world's about to open up. I think that's going to really do you some good.
Just not.
And then you could bring it to Jerry's show. Hey, Jer.
Yeah, you're not going to believe what I saw.
Oh, stop it.
I'll tell him what I watched and he'll fire me.
All right. Well, thank you, Hackride. I'm sure I'll be scolded after the show, but
Probably.
he does great work. And go follow him, for God's sake, guys. If you're watching right now, go follow. I think it's just at Hackride, right?
A Hackride.
All right.
I believe
think
on
it's
Twitter.
Hackride on YouTube, but
I thought you were thinking Twitter.
yeah, no. Well, follow him on Twitter. Follow him everywhere, for God's sake. Follow Hackride. He's a good egg. He does damn fine work, and all he asks in return is a little promotion every once. He doesn't even ask that, but that's what we're giving to him.
That's right. That's right.
All right. A little long one today, huh?
Oh yeah.
We're in the business of these 3-hour podcasts.
I know. Yeah, these are much easier to pull off on a Friday.
Oh, really? Have I jammed you up?
I assume. I don't know that for a fact yet, but I guarantee I had the kids for the last 3 hours.
You know what? You should go in with that energy and be like, "Oh, did you have the kids with that?
See how it goes.
Was your day bad?"
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
guys,
I just had fun.
Guys, if you want the hottest, edgiest Jonah Hill takes, make sure you go to verygoodshow.org.
I need to go back and listen to that.
If you're ready, because it's going to blow your fucking balls off what Craig said about Jonah Hill.
Yep, I'm sure it was. I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure it was fucking huge.
And there's some meetup happening. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to see Scott Stapp, singer of Creed, at some like apple pie jam festival.
What?
He's not in Creed anymore, so now he basically only performs at like bacon jam festivals and like those kinds of things. So we're going.
Right, well, go have a slice of pie and talk to Craig, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have fun. It's in Falmouth, Massachusetts, August 12th.
All right. Well, support the Very Good Show, boys. Oh, I heard an interesting story about your buddy Tim.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ran into Justin recently, is that right?
Justin, I wasn't there, but Justin showed up to
okay.
Matt's show.
Oh, then you might not know this.
Maybe.
So Justin runs into these guys, and he's talking to Tim for a while, and he goes, I actually knew Blind Mike before he did Kirk's show. And Justin was like, oh, you know him from like when he was an intern at Barstool then. Which is the correct answer. That would be the only other way. You either know me because of Kirk or Barstool. That's the only possible option.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew me pre fucking 2018. But Tim says, no, that's not the case. Are you aware of this?
No.
He goes, I know him from sitting in the background of Legion of Skanks shows.
Is he fucking with you?
I don't know.
Well, I'll get to tune into VGS Live at 8 tomorrow night where I get
It
to
never
talk.
happened. I've never been to a live Legion of Skanks taping.
Yeah.
Where I've sat in the background.
I'll figure it out. That's a weird one. I've never heard that, so I think Justin could be fucking with you.
And I don't know. Why would Justin tell me this story? I don't know. He was like,
why
he
would
was
Justin
like, I was like,
text me about 400 sex slaves? It just happens.
That's a fair point. Justin said that he's like, are you sure you're not thinking like because Legion of Skanks has an intern gay Blind Mike? And Justin was like, is that what you mean? He's like, no. Mike used to just like sit in the background, and that's how I know him. Is it a dig at me? I have no idea.
Oh no, definitely not.
I don't understand it, but yeah, get to the bottom of that.
I will.
Reason to go listen to a very good show, huh, folks?
Yeah, live tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
Report back to me because I don't really care what Tim's answer is, but I am somewhat curious. And I mean, more importantly, if we're being honest, pay the bills here for Christ's sake. Go to blindmike.net. You can subscribe to the Patreon, but like I said, you don't need to. You support the show enough just by subscribing to all the free links, whether it be Apple, Spotify, Google Play, all that. Links for Blind Mike Project, Who Are These Socials, and Why Are You Laughing are all available at blindmike.net. And you can find our YouTube as well. If you're watching live on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. You can become a member. You can buy gifted memberships for people. So if there's someone who you've been telling, check out the Blind Mike Project, and they've been dragging their heels a little bit, you can get them a gifted membership for a month, and they can choose whether or not they like it after that. So check all of that out. Like I said, I don't even really know how it works fully. So hopefully we can get everything on there that we want to. We already know we can't do Quincy. So hopefully it's not an issue with the Why You Laughing stuff. But we will figure it out in due time. But support the show. Blindmike.net is where you can do all of that. And go subscribe to Hackride's YouTube. Subscribe to Very Good Show. Support the boys, for God's sake, will you?
The boys. Shout out, boys.
And that's it. We'll talk to you guys next time.
And we have a meme transition.
Sappers clear.